မင်းငါတို့နဲ့တူရှိနေရင်မင်းအနိုင်ရမယ်စကရင်တွေကြောင့်သင်ပွဲအတွက်အဲ့ဒီမှာသင်ရှိနေတာ Team Sprint နဲ့ 1x Spot မင်းငါတို့နဲ့တူရှိနေရင်မင်းအနိုင်ရမယ်စကရင်တွေကြောင့်သင်ပွဲအတွက်အဲ့ဒီမှာသင်ရှိနေတာ Team Sprint နဲ့ 1x Spot မင်းငါတို့နဲ့တူရှိနေရင်မင်းအနိုင်ရမယ်စကရင်တွေကြောင့်သင်ပွဲအတွက်အဲ့ဒီမှာသင်ရှိနေတာ Team Sprint နဲ့ 1x Spot မင်းငါတို့နဲ့တူရှိနေရင်မင်းအနိုင်ရမယ်စကရင်တွေကြောင့်သင်ပွဲအတွက်အဲ့ဒီမှာသင်ရှိနေတာ
Hello မင်္ဂလာပါ
Extreme Gaming
ဟုတ်တယ်နှုတ်ဆက်ပြီလေကိုအားမေတို့ကိုအားမေတို့ခေါင်းနေရဟုတ်တယ်ခေါင်းပြူနေကိုအားမေတိုက်ပေါင်းရယ် PP ရယ်ဟုတ်တယ်အကုန်လုံး
Hi, I'm Gabe Newell. 14 years ago, we held the first international in Cologne, Germany. For me, that first international was awesome. It was awesome to see the skill of the players and the enthusiasm of the community. Before that first international, I really enjoyed the game. But after the international, I loved the game. It's not just the game I love, but the community. Sure, people talk shit at me in chat, and about once a week, people say, hey, noob, uninstall the game and but that's really about their enthusiasm for the game and the energy that they bring. And that's why, after all these years, I still play Dota every day. Now we're back in Germany once more to cheer and celebrate again. Oh man, wäre das ein Spaß. To all the Dota fans who've been with us from day one, to those of you who've joined us along the way, and to any of you who are tuning in for the first time, welcome to the International.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the man. Thank you so much, Gaben. Welcome to the International 2025 Hamburg!
The International started here in Germany in 2011, and in the past 14 years, we have witnessed some of the most iconic moments in esports, and along the way, inscribed 55 different names onto the stages. And no matter who wins here, I can guarantee that at least 3 new names are going to be added to the list.
Absolutely so, Neil. I mean, nobody could have predicted the teams here today. Literally, none of you guys predicted it. Scientifically proven. Not a single one of you bastards, but anyway, it should be one hell of a TI. We're talking 60-minute games, almost every game. We're going to game 3 all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is shaping up to be one of the greatest TIs of all time, baby!
And there was only one thing missing on that road, and that is you. So crowd, Barclays Arena, are you ready? Then let's get the International 14 underway.
The biggest question is my panel ready? Are the viewers at home also ready for what's about to unfold? Because now it's official. Nothing like an opening ceremony, a message from Gabe himself to really get the emotions running and the pressure on Winter.
Yeah, I mean, the players are just going to feel a lot of the heat, but at the same time, we always tell the players, just play the game, don't think about everything else. You have to block out everything and just focus on your duties in the game.
I think you could see it on a lot of their faces, honestly. Like, look at Sumail. Sumail was locked in, dude. There's a crowd of 5,000 people here. He was not looking anywhere. He was in the zone.
He was like envisioning
And
the Dota game in front of him.
And they went crazy for Nick McGowan.
But I also like the way it looks. He was fully focused. I don't think he was just seeing that Aegis, fully focused on it. He wants to lift it.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely has to be one of the more locked-in players, right? Because even though all 8 teams are playing today, he's up first, right?
He definitely knows a thing or two going to the last day, you know. So he is definitely going to want to change the story this time.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's also why he, was locked in the way that he was. The rest of his team as well, though, also standing up there with him, Jin-Q. You can't look past Jin-Q and have you look up there.
You can't. The whole team is so important. But we will talk about Ame because so much of the game is through him. I think there's an understanding of the meta that this team has that other teams in the break needed to look at to see what they're doing. In this meta, you have a lot of heroes that you just can't commit to a fight. There's Silencer, there's Dawnbreaker, there's Dazzle, there's all of these heroes where it's you jump in and they get saved, right? The way that XG takes team fights is they have that vision advantage we talked about with the X-Nova D-warding, and then boom, Ame jumps in on one of these big burst heroes, kills one hero, and then they back off. They play as a complete unit, but in order to do that, in order for them to do those back off plays, he has to be these burst heroes, and I wouldn't be surprised to see other carry players adopting the Ame heroes into their pool.
The toughest thing is you're saying the players they've had this time, they should have gone back and looked at what Extreme Gaming were doing. But the thing is they played the least amount of series and one of the least amount of games as well, Lacoste. So where are you even beginning to look at how to break down such a dominant team?
You need to shut down Ame. In all 10 games that they did play, they last pick his hero. So this is their win condition. And one of the reasons why Jenkins was talking about that Ame has this explosive game, he's playing these explosive heroes that can go in, can shut down pretty much anyone. The burst, because we're seeing a lot of these longer fights, we're seeing a lot of these longer games as well. Extreme Gaming is a team that is a bit slower on the side. They have 3 games over 60 minutes. They did play that 78-minute game against Falcons, which they did win. They did win all 3 of those games. So a bit of a slower team compared to Tundra, who is a bit of a faster team.
I think they're slow because they pick and choose their fights really well, and they always have multiple ways to win a team fight. It's not just one condition. They give themselves enough conditions that if they get the vision, if they see an opening, that they can actually take it. But that requires an insane amount of synergy between the players on the team and trust.
I mean, on top of that, I don't really feel like it's just them being slow. I think the meta is slower as well. So it's not like they're intentionally trying to play slow.
Yeah.
The game just feels more natural when you're being more patient, taking the objectives, and you have team fight. You don't really worry so much about, if I lose the lane, I don't have anywhere to go on the map because the map is just so big right now.
I think the map is big, and also let's just once again, there's a lot of elephants in this room.
In the room, yeah.
Talk about. When there's 2 Dominator creeps running around cutting creep waves, yeah, it takes a while to push towers. There's no creeps taking the backdoor protection off. You have to kill the creep first, then get a creep wave to the tower, then push the tower. This is a 3-step process. It's not exactly easy.
I mean, it kind of incentivizes heroes that can kill off the creeps, right? You've been saying to me that that's why Nature's Prophet's good, because you can kind of TP in from anywhere and you can kill the creep, deal with the problem without moving too many heroes to one side of the map.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you TP globally, you also mentioned it, that the heroes that can actually kill the creep are carries, and you don't want your carry wasting a very long cooldown TP scroll to go somewhere and kill the creep. So a hero like Nature's Prophet that can just do it for free on a 20-second cooldown, that's great. And by the way, the creep can't get a Quelling Blade. It can't get out a Sprout, so that's really nice. Another reason that Nature's Prophet is overpowered. There's not enough of those in today's day and age.
Well, look, who really knows, right? Sometimes we think something is overpowered, we let it through, we don't actually see the result we expect, and something we can expect, though, is for our series to start very soon. We've already seen our teams out on stage, but now we want to welcome them to the stage. We want to bring them out, put them in those booths, and of course, we're going to start with our very first team, Extreme Gaming.
လာပြီလေကိုအားမေတို့လာပြီကိုအားမေတို့လည်းစပြီเนาะဒီ Passion Pool 2 hero 3 ကောင်တော့ recommend ပေးပါလားဗျာ brother ရဲ့ဒီ Passion Pool 2 hero ကSS
Extreme Gaming. And we're back.
ပတ်ရဲ့ပတ်ကနည်းနည်းအရန်ကောင်းတယ်ဟောပါ Shelvin ကောင်းတယ် Shelvin ကောင်းတယ် Strong Spirit ကောင်းတယ်ယူရရဲ့ရှေ့ကလည်းမစိုးဘူးเนาะရှေ့ကကောင်းတယ်မှာပါတယ်ဒီ patch က spell နဲ့ဆော့တာဗျာသိရမလား2ဆုံးလည်းမဟုတ်2တစ်စင်ပဲ3ဆုံးပြီးရင်1တစ်စင်ပြီးရင်1ဆုံးနဲ့ဆော့မယ်ပြီးတော့မှ2ဆုံးပြန်တင်တာ
Well, will they change?
ဟုတ်တယ်ဇင်းညူမင်းအိတ်ကိုက်ပြီလားငါကြည့်ပြီအိတ်ကိုက်ရင်တော့မင်းကိုစူပြီနော်အိတ်ကိုက်ရင်တော့အစူခံရမယ်ဟလားအိတ်တော့မငိုင်းလိုက်နဲ့
And the biggest thing that I really want to
အိတ်ကိုက်ရင်တော့မင်းတို့အစူခံရမယ်ဟုတ်တယ်လီတစီလာပြီလီတစီဟုတ်တယ်ထွန်းတာပလေယာအဲ့ဒီကောဟုတ်တယ်ထွန်းဒရာ
Choose wisely and crush those
ဒီရီလာပြီဒီဟုတ်တယ် busy ကို busy
TUNDRA Esports. Choose wisely and crush those
TUNDRA
responsible.
moments away of elimination just a couple of days ago. It brings the question of what has
တီးလုံးကမိုက်တယ်တီးလုံးကလုံးဝမြူးကြတယ်ဒုံအဲ့လိုလာဒုံAC နဲ့ TUNDRA ဟို AC ကြိုက်တယ် bro TUNDRA ကောင်းတော့ကောင်းနေမယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ AC က short တဲ့ပုံကပိုတည်တတ်တယ်အဲ့တော့ gain နိုင်မဲ့နေရာမှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ AC ကိုပို့ပြီးတော့သဘောကျမိရပါတော့ပြီးတော့ Batman ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဒီပွဲရ bro ကိုရီးယား source စီးပတ်ထားလိုက် duration 40 over ပေါ့နော် duration 40 over ပြီးသွားလို့ရှိရင် K က
This one is not easy.
Kia leပြောရရင်အားလီပိုင်းတော့တိတ်မတက်ပေမဲ့တစ်ဖြည်းဖြည်းနဲ့ over သွားတာများတယ်
Also TUNDRA, they should not be able to, even though they don't have, you did say that he is the best 5 in the world. Whitemon is not here, but he filled the shoes really well. Toby's playing really good Dota, and you have 30, one of the greatest, if not the greatest mind of Dota that we ever had, because this guy is going to try to break the game. We saw it during the TI 2022 when they won it with TUNDRA, the right back. Now we're seeing the same thing with potentially this Helm of the Dominator strat that they've been running very successfully with this BZM Invoker that they did win every single game. He builds into Helm, he builds into Drum's Alacrity, then you have another Helm from the offlane, plus potentially a pipe, and they know how to close out the games quickly.
If there's any player that I really trust when it comes to like breaking down
it's this guy.
his own team and like how strong they are in the current meta, it's 33. You know, he has said that they in the past few patches they've kind of struggled to find an identity. And they didn't perform as well as what we just saw on the screen there in their hugely dominant first year. But in this tournament, it looks like they have found an identity. They're picking SK again. They're picking Earthshaker mid. I feel like this team is really successful when they have scaling heroes, when they're able to pick scaling heroes on all of their cores. And it's because they're a bunch of specialty players, right? You have the BZM Invoker that we just talked about. They've got Crystallis on all of his level 30 Dota plus carries. Like, if they can play a meta where all of the roles can scale, then they can pick the best hero in the best position and then give that to the scaling player and then win the game through that way. So I think the meta really favors TUNDRA right now, and I think they know it as well.
Yeah, and if you're comparing the matchups, like XG is a little bit slower than TUNDRA. I think TUNDRA is really good at hitting specific timings with their heroes, and using the Helm of Dominator, I think they are probably going to be able to try to stop the game from going too long, where it enters Extreme Gaming's territory, and I think they have a really, really good shot here at doing that in the current meta and how everything is really revolving around the Helm of Dom and the auras right now.
Yeah, I think another strength for them as well as we talk about, you know, the fact that Toby's standing in, they just kind of have to find that flow for themselves. It's a little bit of a change up, but this is technically the fifth new player they've had on their roster since last year, right? There's been a lot of changes, a lot of iterations, and I think a lot of the time that actually favors TUNDRA quite a lot. It keeps a lot of things fresh for them. I think it's a lot of effort and a lot of stress on their coach Moon, where we haven't really turned eyes to yet.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I remember when Duraccio was playing with TUNDRA, and my first thought was like, how is this going to work? Duraccio's crazy, man. That kid is nuts. Playing with 33, one of the most calm, cool, collected guys. And then seeing them together, it's like the jokes that 33 was making with Duraccio, they're not PG. I can't even say them here, you know? And it's like he switches his personality to make his players comfortable. Like, genuinely, I know we always talk about 33 as like one of the greatest minds of all time, one of the greatest offlaners of all time, but he's also one of the greatest captains of all time, like integrating players into the team. So I think if there's any team that's going to win with the stand-in, it's either Liquid, they're out, or TUNDRA.
what about Extreme Gaming? They have a stand-in too. X-Nova, I think a lot of people are kind of glossing over that right now. He did play with them in their previous tournament, which was a whole month ago, but he was a stand-in there. So right now, we're seeing this team going undefeated winter, and then we're also forgetting that they do have a new player on their roster too.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, X-Nova, he's not like a new guy, for them they've played together before. And on top of that, I felt like the synergy that he has with Ame is probably better than when Ame was playing with Poloson, because they're both very different players. X-Nova is very, I think, more defensive, like in a way where he protects the core a lot more. So you see a lot more smoke tanks, he's really just trying to make sure Ame can farm, whereas when they were playing with Poloson, they were playing more for the kills and trying to attack the enemy more,
It's like Marana every game, like that sort of thing, like distracting on the other side of the map and then making space for Ame, which sometimes doesn't work.
That kind of feels better, naturally for the Ame's playstyle to work, where you're just sitting back and just waiting for your timings.
So you think he's hitting timings better because of this slight change up in which position 5 he's laning?
I don't think position 5 is a slight change up. Out of all the 5 roles, I think if you were to have a stand-in to swap a role, and it's easy to adjust, is the mid lane, because you don't have to interact with your side lane, your duo. I think when you change a duo, it takes time to get used to the other person. The other person has different habits. You have to learn it. The way he speaks is different. So there are a lot of things that comes into play.
You said that Tundra did change a lot of players throughout the year, but one thing they didn't change is the offlane duos. Like, this is the stable for a good reason, and whenever we talk about the offlane duos, this duo comes to mind to a lot of people because they have been so stable throughout the years as well. Saksa and 33, I don't think it gets better than this. When you're laning against them, this might be the most difficult duo in Dota to lane against, because they will always try to find something, try to break the game. If you're playing into unfavorable matchup, you will find a way how to play it.
Exactly. I mean, look at these top 3 offlane combos, right? Like, a lot of these heroes are gimmicky. They will find farm in some way. 33 playing Darkseer farming stacks, Sand King farming stacks. These are all stack farmers, essentially. And I totally agree. I think the most annoying thing about playing against 33 and Saksa is that even if they have a bad lane, like heroes that are not good at laning together, they still find some way to farm by cutting creep waves, putting a sentry ward in the tier 2 to aggro the first wave of creeps so they get a lane advantage. There's always some sort of trick that they can pull out to get a good lane.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention as well, I think for the draft and for the overall strategy, a lot of the plays start on your offlaner, right? If your offlaner gets a really good start, it becomes very easy to play the map, because the carry will just gate and gank, the lane's pushing, the Kartis coming, you take the hour, everything feels natural, right? So, I think a lot of the game starts from the offlane, so you have to really have like a foundation of the draft and strategy based on your offlaner. That's why they don't want to change things too much in that regard.
Yep, and he's very familiar with building Helm of the Dominator / Overlord. Even on the heroes when it was not popular, he was always playing like these micro heroes, his Visages, his Broodmothers, Lycans, Beastmasters, and I gotta say, I've been very impressed with his Doom as well, because he's building into Helm of the Dominator as well, and this is the word that we're going to be saying quite a lot, because this is something that is kind of OP right now. It is a bit imba, but you do go for another aura, and then you get an aura, you eat the creep, so you have 2 auras, and then you can get maybe a pipe from the offlaner as well if necessary.
I mean, the thing is, you call him an offlaner, but is he an offlaner? He just feels like another carry in the game.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like, Dota is just so different right now. There's like just side laners and mid laners, and even the supports feel kind of similar in what you actually do. There's like no specific role for the 4 and 5. You just do what it feels right in the game. You build items if you need to build items. It's no longer like, oh, you're position 5, you're not allowed to farm. This is your quota for the game, and you can't exceed it,
I mean, especially with the games going the length that we're seeing it, right? I feel like this average of 55 minutes, you almost want your support to start looking towards that later game for themselves.
You have the license to farm. Basically.
Yeah, you want some sort of scaling plan.
Yes.
Something to get one of the support. Something to get to the late game, and then to actually use the fact that you're in the late game. I would like to propose, we've talked a lot about the side lanes. I would like to propose we go to the mid, because...
I'll let you do that.
It's a formal proposal.
When it's more important, because right now, the thing that is important for us is the fact we are getting our very first TI Series Game 1 draft.
Okay, စပြီဗောနော် hero ဒီကနေပဲကြီးလိုက်မယ် hero ပစ်လေးပေးလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ animation လေးပါအဲ့ mic
Sports Game 1
Let's see what these teams have been brewing over the last few days. If we're going to see a shift in what is popular, what works winter, and just exactly if the teams want to start changing up their priority for pick order, where we feel the importance on that is.
Yeah, and talking about pick order, I kind of feel like it's easier to be on the first pick side because of the overall, I think even in the first phase, the fans, because you have the last stand and you go into your first pick, I think that's kind of nice to have, and obviously also the 18th pick, which helps you decide your overall strategy. I kind of like to be on the first pick side more because now these teams are really good at banning out heroes that are really good for you. So you rarely see like, oh, that's a really good 24th pick, overall last pick that actually just going to win them the game, you know.
And something to touch upon is you talked about the games going long. You want to have this position 5 that really scales well into the late game. There's this one guy, one hero that is the most picked hero of the tournament, and that's Disruptor. He has the most amazing Aghanim Scepter upgrade in the game, which can turn the whole game around. So that's why we're seeing it being picked so much, because once you get to that timing, you always know that you have some kind of a play that can turn the whole fight around.
That's the first Helm hero here. Right now, Beastmaster. Very, very oppressive hero if you give him a good lane.
This does leave Nature's Prophet in the pool. There's some very strong heroes that are still left in.
I mean, you're definitely thinking about
Monkey King is also there.
The lane, you know, I think you want to give Beastmaster a hard time, you know, when you open up the draft with Beast, you definitely want to at least consider slowing him down for the start so that his aura items come up slower.
Is this Beastmaster more straightforward for a team of Extreme Gaming? Because we know others are willing to flex it between that mid or that off lane. Does that archetype also fit to them?
Probably not so much, I think, for Extreme. I think to them it's mostly going to be the off lane? Yeah, the off lane hero. Whereas right now we are seeing this Lycan and Beastmaster. I mean, the story of the tournament, right? All the Helm heroes coming out early and you're going to have to deal with it. I mean, this is definitely going to be one interesting game, you know, so Battle of the Helms.
Both teams have picked the Helm hero. Now both teams need to pick the counter to the Helm hero. You need both.
Or do you just go, as long as we have more Helm heroes than them, we'll win?
I mean, it's also the supports, right? You see the opening picks and you're definitely thinking what supports works well with Beast, what enables the Beast, and what enables the Lycans, you know, because both sides are probably going to be looking at similar heroes to pick for the laning phase, and this is going to be an interesting one. Like, what do you ban out? And with Tundra coming out to pick first in the next phase, they're going to have the upper hand in picking the support they want.
I really like the Pugna Beastmaster matchup. I feel like even if Beast does end up going for the Aghanim Scepter build, like decrepping and healing the hero who gets roared is always a very good counter, and this is a hero that Toby has been playing a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's also like a hero like Wyvern, which didn't really get picked much. I was kind of surprised that the hero didn't get a lot of spotlight because it seems like
it's definitely good.
It's good now, right?
It's a strong hero. With the recursive facet, I see a lot of, or actually
even with the other one.
Facets.
Yeah, even with the defensive one on the towers, I think.
Healing the towers, yeah.
Yeah, that is also a really good option because it gives your core damage, you know, when you come out of the core embrace.
Yeah.
Lizzy.
Supports don't really like to play, I would say, in this meta. No, especially after seeing two of the openers. You have Beastmaster with all the summons. You have Lycan as well. You got to be building into defensive. Like, you got to start thinking about. I think Pugna is a really good suggestion kind of for both teams. But Lycan, he also builds into relatively early nullifiers, so it makes it almost impossible for supports to play the game. This is why this hero is so aggressive. He has a really good timings as well.
Yeah, that's why it's really important to pick a good lane matchup into the Lycan. You really need to slow him down as much as you can, and SD is the first one that comes out. Really good counter towards the Beast, you can save the Raw, and he's also one of those heroes where he can kind of defend the tower against the Helm because he can wave shove. And wave shove is also something that's really, really important if you're playing support nowadays, because if you can't wave shove, you're talking about the game going long and you can't farm and you can't scale. And this is one of the better scaling supports, if not the best scaling supports in the game right now.
Why is it one of the best?
Yeah, because of the Axe and because of the BKB piercing disable. Like, if you're a carry, right, and you see SD, you're like, oh, I can't play Lifestealer, I can't play Ursa, you know, you can, but it's going to be very hard.
There's the Wyvern.
Yeah, Wyvern. There we go. Winter Wyvern here. It's a very, very good hero against the Lycan. I mean, for obvious reasons, you counter him with the ulti, you counter with the cold embrace. Nullifier doesn't work against the cold embrace. Interested to see which facet actually he goes for. I would probably prefer the defensive one more.
I mean, I will say it's not a totally free Wyvern game though. SD you can save from Wyvern ulti.
Yep.
But I think the reason that Extreme is picking it is not necessarily just for the Winter Wyvern ult. It's, like you guys mentioned, it's for the heal and the save, right?
You defend the towers as well.
Yeah, just delaying kills a little bit by preventing the physical damage, and then also delaying the tower push that Lycan is inevitably going to bring against you.
You know, one of the biggest counters to Wyvern is a hero we haven't really seen, I think, Skyra. Cold embrace and you put your ulti on top.
That hero's legitimately
okay.
good.
Yeah, he's in an okay spot. I think any kind of magic damage that's going to be coming out from Tundra is going to be really good. Both of the teams don't really have, I would say, that much control, especially on the side of Tundra. Lycan, Shadow Demon, these heroes are relatively easily exploited. So far, we haven't seen the big hero pool from XM. We have seen only 4 heroes with Storm Spirit, Leshrac, Shadow Fiend, and Puck. Puck has been banned, but anything elusive could really work out for them. For now, this Tiny, he can go anywhere. He can go mid, he can go to position 4 lane with the Beastmaster. It's an okay lane. It's not like super strong, but it gives Beastmaster a stun in the lane as well.
I do want to go back quickly to the Winter Wyvern for you. The one time that had been picked so far here, they went for the Winterproof facet, which is the Cold Embrace one.
Yeah, the defensive one. I think it's actually kind of better, at least for me, you know, when I play that hero. I feel like it's...
Oh, of course you take Winterproof.
Yeah, haha, of course. And here we go, Storm. This is one of the better heroes against the Wyvern because you can find him when he's flying around the trees.
I think they were also going to get stormed as well. XG wanted Storm, so Tundra's also picking it to...
The 16-17 pick is the most, I think, difficult part of the draft for the second pick because you are already considering what heroes are going to be picked at 18 because 18 is really good for the first pick side, and so you have to be prepared for that. So most of the times, like Andrew said, you try to pick a hero that also blocks their hero.
Yeah, and I like if you're picking Storm, I like Silencer Storm when you're picking in a difficult situation like this because all the heroes that get countered or that counter Storm get countered by Silencer. So like this is usually how teams try to operate in this situation. Like you know that you're going to get the Storm countered, right? So you need to pick something which counters those counters.
Do you think that's something that's leading into Storm not really having a good win rate right now? It's only sitting at 35% in this tournament.
Maybe. I think some teams are good at like picking these heroes and knowing how to play the heroes which counter. Instead they go for the Warlock, more of like a team fight hero. It's very strong against a Beastmaster and
Fatal Bonds.
Fatal Bonds the boar, right? And you can push the wave out. Beast doesn't really like that.
It's a really good combination with Lycan. You kind of work really well with each other in the team fights. Lycan runs in, gives you space to drop the rock on, and Troll is one of the better matchups into the Lycan.
It's a really good Troll game. This hero is undefeated so far. He has won 7 out of 7 games. 7 games, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, his only issue here, I think, is the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon is the one that can actually make life...
actually 8 games.
Yeah, can make life very hard for the Troll. But he's going to have to probably rely on his teammates like the Tiny or the Beast to kind of deal with the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, I'm going to rely on you guys for this knowledge. This Troll, being an Arme hero, is one of the very few times that we do not see an Arme last pick. It is something, even when they've been second pick, they still save him until very last in the draft.
18 is like I feel like the most influential pick in the first pick phase, you know, so at least in my book, he's already getting the highest priority in the draft right now, even if it's not the 23rd pick. Okay. I mean, Troll, Beastmaster, there's a lot of synergy. You come together, you hit Roshan quickly, you have the auras. I think Troll really likes to have aura heroes on the off lane. He kind of thrives in those environments. You play really fast when you hit your timings, and I think the heroes that are good against Troll are not exactly very, very good here. I mean, I'm thinking of maybe like something like Faceless Void that's really good late game, but Faceless Void has problems.
Into Wyvern.
Yeah, into the other heroes, you know. So they kind of have a lot of their bases covered here with the first 4 picks. And there's also the Slug, I think, which is kind of like a decent matchup. It's not exactly a Slug meta, but it will fit their nighttime draft. You know, you have Slug plus Lycan.
I just love that in these like high-level games, you see like Troll picked into SD, which is traditionally considered a counter, but they just have so much confidence that their other heroes can
do their jobs
and deal with the SD that it's otherwise a very free Troll game. This is why Bloodseeker, very good against Troll, very good also against Pangolier. They have absolutely secured the team fights here for them, even against Warlock. Like nothing deals with Pango right now. Like, there's no BKB piercing disable. Are you gonna rock him for a single second out of his
You also
roll?
don't have the damage. At least you don't have the damage to kill Pango.
I mean, there's
through
only
the Rolling
faces
Thunder.
for it, right? Like with the dilation or and the chrono. I don't see anything else that can kind of deal with the roll. But then again, their lineup will be very, very slow.
Oh, what about some carry Doom to stop the healing coming through? It's very good against Troll.
It is, yeah.
But it is also very slow.
The only issue there for me is like, you don't do anything against Pango. You doom him when he's rolling, and he just keeps rolling, right? Like, I feel like you're totally happy being a Pango in a game against a Doom. I like the Faceless Void, but there's counters. Razor's also there. They picked a Jug. Okay.
Oh, this is a statement. If we talked about throughout the whole year, one of the more staple heroes for Ame, it has been Jug. He tried to make it work for such a long time, and now they last picked Jug against Ame's Troll Warlord.
I mean, I kind of feel like it's gonna be so tough for the Jug though. Like, there's Curse, that's raw, and then you have the Rolling Thunder, which you don't really do much to it. I mean, sure, you can Omni Slash him. But the thing is, I feel like Jug has a lot of counters already in the game with the Raw and the Wyvern, Co-Embrace, and Curse itself, you know. And against Troll, it's like he doesn't care if you Omni Slash him, he just needs to click his R.
They have no control. They have like no silences. This Troll, I feel like he's gonna pop off. Extreme Gaming, they have overall better team fight, I would say, with Rolling Thunder, with Winter Wyvern, Troll. They don't have that burst damage that he's gonna be afraid of. Sure, there's some kiting coming up from Shadow Demon, but he can survive long enough because of all these reset mechanics that they do have on Extreme.
Yeah, Jenkins, you said even before you saw the last pick of Tundra that Extreme Gaming had secured the team fight. Does the Jug alter that formula for you in any way, or it's still very straightforward?
I think that Extreme still has the team fight secured.
Yeah.
But Tundra now at least has like scaling options in the game. You know, like Juggernaut with Omni Slash, he will full to zero any hero. Like if some heroes are orchided, they will die. So they have play options because whenever you have damage, you always have play options. But I agree, it's not like a free Jug game by any means.
Yeah, I think the execution level is definitely higher for Tundra's lineup, whereas for XG is, I think, pretty straightforward with their heroes. You get some auras, you have Dagger on your Wyvern, you group together, your Troll's hitting a tower, everyone's behind him, it's straightforward, right? Whereas for Tundra, they're going to have to juke and jive, you have to use the Storm, find the Wyvern, you have to farm your items on Jug, and like, it's not a straightforward game for them.
Yeah.
In the earlier part of it, though, Lacoste, we're talking about just how strong we're feeling the safe lane is for XG and also how strong the off lane is for Tundra. So now with heroes in those placeholders, does it feel like it favors one way or the other?
Now, Extreme Gaming, they have a very strong safe lane. You have Troll against Lycan with the Winter Wyvern. You're not losing that lane.
Okay, at all. Anything else that you guys want to put out there before we get to know some more information from the coach?
I will say I think Jug's generally like an underrated hero. I was seeing it in pro-level pubs up until TI, so I feel like some players just have a read that it's a really good hero and people are not valuing it high enough.
Okay. And Winter?
I think Jug is going to...
Wait, did we see what facet the Winter Wyvern went?
No, but I think Jug is not going to do much this game, so I'm not going to agree with Andrew here.
Okay, alrighty. We've heard it all that we can from our panel right now, but we're going to get some more...
就梗係勇未嚟啩，呢個即係備王，你哋啲勇未嚟 show 到位啦，啱未到票入嚟，陣間嚟。係咪你講邊個嚟咩啊？呢個線人哋都咪兩，陣間嚟年。
It is the first game of TI 14 here on the main stage. The game, I'm quite interested in your hair. Ame's got lavender hair, X-Nova's got blonde hair, you've got red hair. What's the story behind this?
本次比赛主舞台第一场比赛，我们更关注的是你们的发色很有趣。阿妹的发色是淡蓝色的，然后Xnova 的是黄色的，你的是红色的，是有什么故事吗？
没有，我们3个就集合训练的时候不约而同发现大家都染头发。
There's no story, but after we arrived at the boot camp, we noticed that we have different hair colors.
Wow, the synergy on this team, even without communicating. And then in the days off, you guys qualified quick through the tournament. How'd you stay sharp after you went 4-0?
作为本次比赛首支晋级正赛的队伍，在休息日当中是怎么保持自己的状态的呢？
我们就晋级以后就稍微讨论了一下，然后每天都会保持训练，然后打路人，也没有干别的事情。
So after advancing to the main event, we continue with our scrims. We had discussions and played ranks. So
The battle begins. Or so I am told.
边嘛没输到你不免。
进去以后就稍微讨论了一下，然后每天都会保持训练，然后打路人也没有干别的事情。
So after advancing to the main event, we continue with our scrims. We had discussions and played. So that's what we did.
Well, hopefully the pub
Here, Lyrica.
things sharp going up against Tundra, shall we? Thank you very much.
等一下，不要加你啊！
And let's send it to our casters.
我也加你啊！
Thank you so much, Tsunami. We are here. We are ready. Hamburg, are you excited for the first game of the International? Well, that's good because we're going to be here another 60 minutes. Charlie, if anything would go by from what we had earlier.
Do you think that's what Tundra have in mind here, though? They picked a juggernaut into
Dyer's courier has been slain. News of the death is expected to travel swiftly.
You know, thinking we're gonna healing ward try and like push high ground, and that's why they went for it, because there were those other more team fight oriented heroes they maybe could have gone for. Instead saying doubling down on the push potential.
Yeah, Winter was bringing up the Faceless Void. I thought that looked kind of solid too. You know, obviously there were issues no matter what hero you picked. This is a very well-rounded draft in XG. You've got this very defensive and annoying Winter Wyvern hero that we haven't seen too often, but you start to think about what happened at the road to the International, and you're like, yeah, Wyvern kind of fits.
You know?
Oh yeah. We got some swarming units for potential with the Helm creeps. We've got this ability to just like try and defend these towers, slow things down, and also just really big team fights that have been very game deciding at the later parts of this game. And of course, Winter Wyvern, just like Disruptor, one of these supports that late game, you get a Blink Dagger, the fight could just be on you completely.
Yeah, and of course that's where BZM is going to be looking to make those big jumps in later on to find X-Nova hanging out to the side. But at least out of this early going, we're just getting a solid laning stage, it looks like, for Tundra. You can see they're already putting a little bit of a hamper here onto Ame's Troll Warlord, a hero that I absolutely despise, but it does actually seem like it's pretty good in this game.
Yeah, it's got some issues, but you know, it's pretty much just the Shadow Demon, right? This idea of just trying to disrupt who you're attempting to target during your ultimate, also just being disrupted yourself, perhaps. So some nuisances, but overall, it's obviously been a very successful hero here so far. You saw it's already 8-0 along the road of this tournament. So seeing if Ame can keep it lossless thus far.
And already they're doing some pretty good spam out here. Interesting to see XXS go for the early boars, considering the counter that we've seen them take in Toby's Warlock, but still opting to play more around that. Of course, Bull and then eventually Helm of the Overlord build.
Yeah, I think it's a little hard to get like tons of value out of the Fatal Bonds versus his boars right now. And of course, the ability to just stack constantly. You know, we've seen these Beastmaster players just very early getting multiple stacks off, and that has been a key to a lot of the success that we've seen from XG so far. So I can appreciate still using that. And his lane partner here, Xingqiu, on this Tiny. I feel like this is a very contested hero between these two teams. I was thinking that they were maybe going to be grabbing it for Soxa, perhaps moving Toby over to the Shadow Demon if they could, but then just instantly snapped up there by XG. And I have a feeling it's not the last time we'll see this hero in this series.
Well, after the early stages here of this lane, you can see across the board Tundra just getting a little bit of the better of it, and Ame might get a fourth stack here. Do they want to stick around for a fifth? If Soxa hits this would be huge. Instead goes over to X-Nova. Stacks him up again, gets it on the bolt. Oh man, Ame very low there.
Nãy ha, ông gặp một theo chúa rồi.
Thiếu đi một lần nào. And this have a salve coming out. The courier Crystal is now spinning away up top here on Xingqiu.
Turns, realizes this is not going to work. Toby low. Oh, gets the ruin. A few more hits for Toby. He manages to survive.
All right, big ward value there.
He just last hit a bird that was going. I have not seen that before on a jug. That was pretty cool.
You know, this is the this is what Warlock usually does. You know, you pick Warlock so you can pick your Spectres or your some other hero that needs a little bit of help in the lane, right? And they just get healed over and over. Chrysalis picks Jug, saves the Warlock under tower. You know,
not what you expect all the time, but still very good stuff. 29 and 13 for Chrysalis.
Dyer's
still
bottom
only
tower
13
is
last
under
hits
attack.
on XXS. They are really taking it to him here.
Zinky kind of struggling to assist, right? He's at half HP, so even if he mangoes and goes for a play, if he messes up, he's just going to get spun down to death until he has boots.
Usually we think about last picks in the context of, you know, being this hero that's going to be a great team fighter later or cause this like huge problem. Maybe this problem is just trying to completely dominate the lane and then snowball from there, shut down XXS's timing, because it's going to be a while before he gets that dominator.
And while all this action is happening in the side lanes, very quietly, we have a pretty big lead growing here for BZM. That's why they call him the best zoomer mid, you see.
Oh my god.
Because he's crushing it right now. Look at him, he's top of the board. Where's this pan go? You know, XM's leading for his own team, but he's under all 3 cores for Tundra.
That's true. No, they're having a good time with it so far. Obviously can turn in a moment if things get a little bit too spicy. Some early hits thrown out. 6-minute mark coming up. First rune, obviously a really important time for a Storm Spirit. And they're getting set up. Should be able to secure the top one. Tiny's there too. And it's going to be an invis gotten by XM. Never mind.
Middle tower. ဒီနှစ်တင်းကြီးကနည်းနည်းတော့ပြင်းဖို့ကောင်းတယ်ဗျဒီကောင်လေးကမချအောင်တန်ရာကိုတီးရတယ် okay good လက်ဗျာပြီးကဝါရောနဲ့မတာထားပါ trolling ကအေး trolling ကဘာလို့နေနေလဲ trolling က trolling နဲ့ wiper နဲ့ဟိုဒီက shell ဒီမိုကနှောက်နေတာဖြစ်မယ်အနေငယ်တာနေတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့တာအောင်ဆိုမဲ့မတာအောင်ဆိုတာလည်းနှိမ့်လို့မရဘူးဖြစ်နေပါတော့ဒီကောင်လည်းသူ့ကနေသူတာရောတာရတယ်
make the movement over for
it
does appear like Shadow Demon is going over to try and sneak one or maybe go for a kill here on the XXS. He's just a little bit. Oh, Pango rotating also.
Yeah. They really need this play right now.
They see one, don't spot XM though, and now Broly back and forth finds 2. Chrysalis decides that he cannot make that move forward onto the Beastmaster, so they shut down any extra action coming their way, and it looks like it is just going to be a trade-off of wisdoms.
Yeah, that's a lot of time spent here from the mid, unfortunately. Big effort, and you know, I'm looking at XXS. He's lowest of the cores, and he doesn't have anything to fall back on right now.
Structures.
Yeah, there are no stacks made
for
him.
There
appears to be some sort of team towers. Like they're obviously getting very aggressive right now. As you can see, Tundra, BZM's coming in here. He's like, where are the stacks, man? Like, I'm trying to steal a double or a triple here, and there's just nothing for me to grab.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, they already put some good pressure on after the big rotations over to this side of the map. XG are able to keep their tier 1 tower alive. But you can see kind of the idea that Tundra's going for here. They want to shut this down before XG really come online. 33.
Yeah, it's kind of there's this idea of trying to shut down Ame, right? And make sure, because Ame has been the game winner in a lot of these drafts that they've gone for. He is the big condition to get the W at the end of it. But we're not seeing that pressure on him. Right? They've kind of just left the lane because they're worried about potential kills. Instead, they're putting all this focus on XXS to try and just slow down any sort of an engine that's going to give that time to Ahmed. Rather than focusing him, shutting him down, get rid of the playmakers themselves in this XXS Beastmaster.
And then naturally, he's going to lose the rest of his map as things go on. That makes a lot of sense. Well, 8 minutes. Toby takes over a mid and wants to
being subjected to extreme
won't be
violence.
getting that many more points in his grimoire since it is still 0-0 at 8.5 minutes.
Ah, yes. To be expected, it would seem.
Yeah.
I mean, that has been the narrative, right? There's this idea of like XG are crushing the late game. They're doing so well whenever they go late. They're playing for the late all the time. Can Tundra come in and just punch him in the face, get rid of that plan, attack him super quickly? You see this immediate 3-3 like, and you're thinking, oh yeah, here we go. So far, we're not there, but it's all coming together, you know?
That's right. X-Nova still hanging out. Soxa spots him, and that should turn into an eventual kill as the banishment is there. Does have a TP away.
Oh, I see some red flashing in the crowd here. Everyone immediately checking for their crimson witnesses.
That's right.
Oh, speaking of flashing in the crowd, it's National Alert Day here in Germany, Lyrical.
That's right. So in a couple of minutes, there might be a loud sound. Do not be alarmed. It's only an alert. You don't need to run away. It's going to be fine.
Got like 2 minutes until that's going to go off. So
maybe there will be a hype fight happening.
Yeah,
at the
so
same time.
check your phones. It might go a little wild.
Radiant's bottom
Tundra ကအုံနေပါလားကွာစပ်ပတ်
for celebration.
So 1 kill so far as we get towards that 10-minute mark. And at least for now, no big rotations after that one that went up top. Could look for another room here. Ziano's going to go down bottom. Pango almost done with the diffusal blade, and that is a haste run bottled up for BZM. That's what you want to see if you're a Tundra fan.
He goes right into a ward here, so obviously going to be spotted. Plants a very sneaky one there. BZM helping out the fantasy gamers there as he plants a ward.
Chrysalis gonna come and contest these.
ကောင်းနေပြန်လာကောင်းနေချင်းပြန် fight ပဲကောင်းနေချင်းပြန် fight ပဲကောင်း
I
နေ
think
ကောင်း
so
နေ
at
လာ
this point. As 33 sent one through also, so helm on helm action.
It's what everyone here came for, you know.
Heroes are
လေးစံ
so
ဥယျာဉ်မှာငါတို့တွေချကြမယ်
about halfway to a battle fury done for Ame on the Troll Warlord. If you can get to a good timing.
I know. Chrysalis, you know, a lot of the signature heroes were still in this pool. I didn't know what we were going to get. A late ban on the Bloodseeker, but to go for the jug, you know, this is New Age Chrysalis. He didn't force a Razor, because like, it's tempting in some ways, but also has some disastrous counters there. You know, he's usually very willing to force his very specific heroes, but wants this jug this time.
An interesting moment there, and now as we are scooting forward, it looks like they're still just trying to get Toby level 6. I mean, they cut down one of the towers on bottom. I kind of feel like there might be a moment where they could go for another push towards mid potentially. We'll see.
They could indeed, my friend. They could indeed.
Trent's just he got a crimson. Unbelievable.
What? No, I'm not.
BZM takes Ame down.
I thought it was the other it was the crimson. That's not my fault. I was trying to be a good member of production.
Holy look at it. ဘာကြီးလဲဟာ
BZM working his way down it.
There, I hear them ringing out now, actually, across the arena. That's
the fuck?
A lovely sound.
Yeah, it's nice.
There we go.
ဟုတ်ကျဲနေဟာ Holy look ကတကယ်စဉ်းစားကြည့်
Thank
ဟာ
you, everyone, for dealing with that.
Is this real that he's going for the Holy Locket on Storm Spirit?
ရောင်ကြီးဟုတ်တယ်ဟာ
Well,
next level လေ next level လေ
That's a lot of energy, you know.
ဘာကြီးလဲအစ်ကြီးရောင်ကြီး Holy look ကြီးရတော့အစ်ကြီးဖြစ်သွားပြီတော့
With a soul ring as well.
Yeah,
just fully committed.
You know what? If nobody's casting spells, you need to make your own charges.
That's right.
So Holy Locket Storm, let's go. Could also be like some
ကျဲနေပါလို့တော့ charge က auto တက်နေမှာဗျာ magic 1လို့မဟုတ်ဘူး
Okay.
But the problem is you don't do anything.
Right.
Right? That is the issue. It's because like you're not going Orchid, so it's not some like super aggressive build. You're not going Witchblade to boost your damage. It's kind of like it helps in fights, but it also sort of helps passively, right? Good attributes. You're just farming it up a little bit.
So fortified.
I'm curious to see how it fits. Maybe it's because he wants me like this heavy initiating role, and so he wants to make sure he has lots of zips to go in to get back out.
ဒီတဲ့လုံးပါဒီတဲ့လုံးပါ
3-3 to dominate. I think that's the plan here.
Middle tower.
ဒီ item ကြီးကြီးလိုက်တာနဲ့ဆောင်းအမှန်တာလောက်တယ်လို့ခံစားနေရတယ်
Basically have to do though, I think, because
အဒီ73မိနစ်လောက်ပါတယ်ရှယ်မှန်တာလောက်ကျွေးလို့ပါ
ability to keep these towers alive, and they are desperately going to need it because I think Tundra is just going to start grouping now.
Yeah, it looks like they're indeed hitting their timing. There certainly has been an impressive recovery here from XXS, I do have to say. With the help of these helm creeps, he is back right now, so he does have some capabilities as they move in for this fight, but he's going for that Ags next.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sunk gold right now that's just giving him some stats, but until he gets that Aghanim, he hasn't really upgraded that much.
Oh, and the potential here, they're smoked up.
Chama.
They roll it up, trying to find an opening. XM. Actually, they do have the winner's cards if they need it. If they step too far forward on Tundra, they're going to be in trouble. Cold Embrace onto Zinq, keeping him alive for only a moment. Going in, hanging on to this. The winner's curse is ready with a roll through on XM. They managed to kill the Tiny, but they won't get anybody.
Look at X-Nova. He's just getting zoned back.
Yeah.
Like, the Dragon was on him, the Lycan creeps in there. He's trying to get in there to create a good fight opportunity by baiting in Zinq, but he can't get the finish.
Yeah.
Because, how can you get in there as this Dragon? Sorry, Wyvern.
Smoke. There you go. Sorry.
Yeah. But there's particulars out there.
ဒီကောင်နဲ့ AC ကလုံးဝအဲ့လို fan အကြာကြီးဆော့တော့အားလီပိုင်း dead light ကျုံတဲ့ကောင်တွေပစ်ထားတယ်ဗောနော်
But like some extra mobility, this is the thing that this hero struggles with a lot in this game. But another tier 1 tower taken. That's 3 of them down, and still stacks are being built.
Yeah, this is of course the specialty of Shadow.
နှစ်ကောင်မရှိသေးတဲ့အတိုင်းပဲဟုတ်တယ်နေတယ်ပဲလုံးနေပြီစိတ်ဆုံးကတရုတ်တွေဆောက်လွဲလုပ်ပြီးဟုတ်တယ် play off မှာဆိုလို့ရင်စတင်ပြီးတရုတ်တွေကနည်းနည်းလွဲရင်တယ် bro မှာအကောင်းကြီးပေးပြီးထင်တယ် Tundra ကိုကျေးဇူးပေါက်သွားရတယ်ရှိတာအောင်လား
That's what I'm saying. Like I've been watching across. Like where it just.
တော့ဒီကအဲ့လို damage ထက်ဆိုင်မနက် region တော့လောက်တယ်
Giving up a lot of the map early. Stacking camps just like makes that eventual steal worse.
I actually think they would have lost their stack camps.
Yeah.
Had they stacked near their ancients, I do think BZM would have just simply stolen them.
Interesting. I mean, I guess with the jug pick, they kind of knew it was coming. It was going to be this early pushing, and so they're like, we're just going to give up the areas where we need to, make sure that they fight for the runes. So Ame getting jumped on now. They have enough to bring it down. The troll zipping in, chasing for more. X-Nova nearby. Does still have that cold embrace waiting. Turns the whole team.
He's got to pop anything.
Yeah. And now he's not free from this. It's still not completely safe for Ame.
Oh, everyone bow down. Wow. That's a really painful death because he's into a dangerous round coming up here soon. We have an Orchid being built by 3-3.
Game money,
They can target the troll, throw the Orchid on him, and then he has no choice. Like right, he has to build into this Manta to escape from that, to have the opportunity to go into his ultimate while being targeted by a Storm and a Juggernaut.
The late game team fight from XG is very good, but I'm starting to have some doubts on if they're going to be able to get there. There are those other couple of big items that are coming up, for instance, the Beastmaster and the Pango in terms of these Aghanim Scepters, but that Orchid, it creates some problems for Troll that nobody else can really solve. Yeah. He's got to do it himself.
And BZM's about to have his Witchblade, so he's gotten his little Holy Locket to help him out here, but he's going to have a little bit of damage to help out here. It's like naturally these finishes. And then it's time to just start making moves with the Golem. I'm sure that will be the plan here from Tundra and XG. It's kind of a matter of like how much can you get before this pressure comes in. There is a very important item coming. We're gonna have the Aghanim Scepter done here for XXS. So now he is now a hero. He's garnered something else to assist. But you know, a lot of the value of the Aghanims outside of taking objectives comes down to how the fight plays out as BZM jumps in queue.
He's already used his avalanche, and ZQ, is he going to pop to that? Cold Embrace comes in.
Damn you.
The Golem onto XXS. He turns and starts beating it down. The Golem being used actually makes sense.
I think what happened is he was worried BZM was kind of getting wrapped on a little bit as
Ame forced to pop it again. He's fully trapped in by the Lycan here. Nowhere left to go.
When the dog walks you.
Oh no, Ame in trouble. In spite of the butterfly, it's going to be a second death for Ame. And
although he's dying,
we shall see it. No, young we why we loud though. Lama, we are not sure.
I mean, BZM, he has no TP, he has no mana anyway. He does have a great healing lotus. It is slow.
They're zipping, they're thinking about it. Tundra starting to run down the river. They're going to get there and get just a little bit too late. XXS gets the Aegis. Crystal is going to drop.
That was crazy.
Oh.
XXS still surviving. XXS jumps in.
Yo, easy ပြီးတာလေအေးစင်ပြတေးပြီးအော်ဝိုင်းမအာတီးနဲ့နှစ်ကောင်ထပ်ကုန်ပြီဘလို့ကြီးလဲယောအေးကိုအမေဘလို့ပဲနဲ့ချနေတာအဲ့ဒါတော့အာတီးနှစ်ခုလဲသွားတာဝိုင်းမန်နဲ့မှရောတာကြီးနဲ့ကွက်တီဒီကဂျကားနဲ့စစ်ကလည်း Creasy ကိုရောက်သွားတယ်ပြီးတော့မချသင့်တော့ဘူးဒီကောင်နေဒီကောင်နေတောက်လျှောက်ကျွေးနေရဆိုတော့ဒါပေမဲ့ damage ကမရှိတော့ဘူးဘာမှမရှိဘူး Lycan RD Lycan လည်းမရှိဘူးပြီးတော့ Inferno လည်းမရှိဘူး Inferno လည်းမရှိဘူးအဲ့မှာ Lycan ရအောင် Truna ကမဲ့ကောင်တော့မရှိဘူး35 လောက်အဲ့နာမှာဟုတ်တယ် Lycan ဆိုတော့ Trua လောက်ကတော့ကိုကျန်းတယ်အခုပုံစံတိုင်းဆို Trua လောက်ဟာရနောက်ဖို့ကြည့်ရောခုန 6K ကနေ 5K ပဲကျန်တော့အဲ့ဒါ comeback ဟိုဟာဖြစ်သွားပြီ comeback reaction ဖြစ်သွားပြီအဲ့ဘက်တည်းရ
And even though some of the spells didn't quite sync up the way you'd hoped,
နောက် 5K လောက်ပြန်သွားသွားတယ်
It still went pretty
ချက်ချင်းကြီးဝိုင်းတော့ကြေးရပြောင်းသွားတယ်
He was close to having spin here too, but I mean, he's just surrounded at this point. Ame's coming back up. And this game, even though it's not in the favor of XG at this point, because that really does put a damper on his ability to keep on pushing for Tundra.
It's bought time. That's the most important part of it, for sure. That was the Aegis that I think you're supposed to get from Tundra and, you know, start walking down tier 2 towers.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm not sure what the game plan is.
I mean, that is definitely a wipe all 3 tier 2 towers Aegis. I think without a doubt, they're all gone if you get that. So now they are able to just regroup, focus up, grab the Tormentor.
Bottom tower
so that'll go over to Toby. At the same time, Xingqiu did finish his Blink Dagger on this Tiny, which obviously opens up a whole new avenue in how to defend these objectives and take these team fights.
Sorry, I just noticed that Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Next up for XXS is going to be a Lotus, which can make a really big difference when playing against a Juggernaut.
I don't mean to be
several of these other heroes,
but Dire's bottom tower,
tower
has fallen.
Wisdom, and I think that XG are going to try and sneak away the Dyers. Radiant scanning right now, seeing that they're not over by theirs, at least for the moment.
They do love to give these to Ame.
No, yeah, they're backing out, so they're not going to go and try and contest.
Dire's bottom tower is
I saw that nobody was at theirs.
Yeah, they were hoping to just give Ame theirs and focus in there, but not able to get there in time. So that's going to go to Soxa again. As he hits level 12, it's the second point in this demonic purge.
And you think about like all of that stuff and what could have gone differently, but they get the Aegis kill just in time, and now 33 going to have to summon a new creep for himself. It's the Marsh Mage. Kind of a weird one. Love the Croaker more personally because it does that.
Yeah, but this guy looks cool. Look at that staff.
That's true.
Yeah, he's kind of swag.
He's pretty awesome.
I think we should get that as a cosmetic in some of the heroes.
As like, you know, like Tide skin or something?
Oh, no, I was thinking like you get this just the staff. Like you kill him with staff, you know? So this, there was a plumber on the panel. I don't know if you guys saw that. He mentioned that XG tend to draft many ways to get into fights, which I thought was very good because that is something they have consistently done. That's why they win these fights, because it's not super formulaic. They play it, you know, more like this idea of there's so many ways to get in the engagements every single time that it's very difficult to predict how the fight's going to break down. You look at Tundra, how does the fight start? Storm zips. Like, is there really anything else? Like, either they're hitting a tower and that starts the fight, but if they want to get aggressive, it's a storm zip every single time, right? You're not just going to like and all then run at someone very often for a good 5v5 situation. You look at XG, we got a Blink Dagger on a Tiny, we got a Beastmaster who can like frontline into a Roar, we got Pango Roll, and then we're going to have this mobility and longer cast range eventually on the X-Nova here too. So it's much harder to predict how the engagements are going to go on the side of Tundra. They have to try and like figure out what XG are doing. And XG can just sort of position, always thinking like, where's the storm zip?
And then play around that continuously, absolutely. A smoke up now is they're going to try and bait out Ame for a moment as they get ready to walk uphill. XXS sees the Watcher, does not see the Storm, which is lurking nearby. The rest of the team also wrapping around. They just also finished a Blink Dagger, weirdly enough, on the Lycan. So he's got another way to get immediately into the fight, which is Blink Orchid.
Alright, I like this. This brings me back. This is some TC Dota, you know? This is some old school. It's like...
ဟုတ်တယ်ဂျကာနဲ့အာဒီလွဲသွားတာနည်းနည်းစသွားခုနကတော့ပတဲ့ရ
need to win a fight in this case.
I think the one thing that's scary about it though is that it's also like kind of doubling down on an idea that's already been answered. With the exception of XM, because Troll has a Manta, Beastmaster finished a Lotus, and now Pango, I mean, he doesn't have a way to deal with it yet. So that's something to watch for. You could also potentially see maybe a jump line, a jump at the back line of X-Nova, and that could be a really good answer. If he's able to spot out that Wyvern, then you could jump him with the Lycan.
Yeah. Yeah, this Lotus could be really nice too, especially if Storm zips in without BK being first.
Oh yeah.
Know, suddenly you're just yeeted.
It's true. But you can see Tundra, they are not comfortable with trying to make any big moves at this point. And actually, Chrysalis is starting to get a bit more farmed. I believe that's the full butterfly. Or close to it at least, coming on out. No, still waiting for the talisman. Okay.
Yeah, shift around that inventory a little bit. But XXS getting a little aggressive here, almost right there, but Toby walks it off.
And not willing to commit much. And I mean, this is again all into the favor of XG right now. I'm at least feeling like them going into the later stages will start to feel better, but Tundra have a couple scary windows when they can keep this push going, particularly if they manage to get the next rush.
Yeah, and you heard the panel talking about like scaling supports. That Shao Demon great. You know, heading into the late game, you're always gonna have this opportunity to just ruin the way that they want to go into a fight. So we do set one here.
Jump in, Zing 2, avalanche off, then drop the no connection, XF, roll through onto 3. It's pretty good, and Chrysalis tries to spin it off, and now realizing that's not gonna work so well. They are all grouped together. 5 heroes of Tundra.
Where's Xnova? He just, you know, kind of scary.
They just don't have a great way to make this function. Again, that's the jump in from BZM, but what's the follow-up? Putting it on the disruption. Saksa. Need to find more. Can they get it? Ame is low. Ame is dead. Tundra, they've outlasted so far with that healing ward. And
do you want to change it to curse though?
The winner's curse connection on to 33, so they have enough damage to kill him off. Not quite, but he does fall. Double kill. And then hits over to the side. XM trying to clean up. Gets down Saksa. Maybe a chance here for him to bring down the red hole from these heroes. He needs a few more. He's a killing spree.
Okay, TV.
Too much sustain.
Oh, focusing down, getting Ame at the beginning there. They lose it on so much of their damage on the side of XG. And they just hold out. They don't allow too good of a curse. You know, it was good targeting the fact that they're able to get down 3-3, but after that, Saksa, he does go down, unable to save his ally, but then there's that cleanup for BZM. Looking for them to 12 galvanized charges now. Oh, man. As they're going to get some revenge here and grab a roach for themselves.
And this was nuts. How many heals did Toby throw out?
Look how close Ame is when he pops his ulti here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was crazy. Then the silence comes.
Yes.
Like, that was wild.
And we are seeing the problem of the XG draft right now. Not a great way for them to find those backline supports. They're just free casting.
It's also, we're talking about like these abilities they have in these big team fights, but they're not synchronizing, right? Like the Pango roll happens, it ends, then Tundra start their fight. And also, you know, a full Omni Slash coming out was pretty huge too.
What I miss? Oh yeah. Full on all of those heroes, and you can see here the cleanup.
I like Toby. Yeah. It's standing here throwing at his right clicks.
Every little bit helps.
A 7K lead now here for Tundra. Of course, we have seen that gold leads mean pretty much nothing this tournament. Plenty of comebacks have happened. But it's more than just gold. You know, they have this Aegis. They have this ability to push waves pretty safely. They're going to start trying to contain XG. And now try and march down these tier 2 towers that they were hoping to get a little bit earlier in this game, I imagine.
I gotta say, Ame is just exploding in a couple of these fights, though. He's gotta get some more stuff going for himself.
It's coming. The BKB is only 100 gold away.
And a disruption into push is what it looks like we're gonna be seeing.
Where's the body?
Saksa sends out the illusions. And in the meantime, the goal for XG is what it's continued to be. Farm, find a pick when you can. As MKB is going to be the next bet for Ame.
Is under attack.
And another Blink Dagger, this time
like a broken record.
The Jug.
I like this. This is just another way to sort of give these ideas of how to start fights to heroes that traditionally don't build a way to do it, right?
Right.
Better ways to try and outplay and make sure that you're not just like super one-dimensional for your opponents.
Ame might show here on this wave, but is very far back, recognizing the danger that could be coming his way. Well, is he? Do they know? Okay, he sees the poison. Sorry, hit the banish. He went back over.
I have no reason.
Okay, no, they're not close enough though that's gonna matter.
Tell their stories.
ခဏတော့မှဖြီးလို့ရပြောင်းတော့ပြန်ဝင်လိုက်ပါ
Lurking nearby Ame here. Ame, of course, no chance in an MKB, as he didn't finish that BKB. So in the 1v1 versus Chrysalis, he's going to have a bit of a rough time right now. But Toby decides there is no play here. He's going to let Ame go.
Okay,
it is with great emotion that I report the death of Dyer's courier.
Here on Soxa, that's going to be another massive change in these engagements. And Xnova seeing the struggle in this game. We need 4,800 net worth now. That Blink Dagger, he knows it's not really coming very easily, so he's going for the beast instead.
More ways to try and keep his team alive.
Flying joins the
rest of the fray and to back away. So that initiation, when it doesn't work, ends up getting away freely on XG.
Yeah, it's going to push them back to the line grab Tormentor, so.
You know, I gotta say, I felt like we were going to be getting more out of this Aegis this time around, but not any of the tier 2 towers have fallen yet for XG.
Yeah, I guess it kind of comes back to something we were talking about before we went live, this idea of just like taking risks. Yeah. You know, this is one of those situations where even going to a tier 2 is a bit of a risk right now because you're playing versus this Wyvern versus this Pango. Why bother? Why not just farm up the entire map right now, get an even bigger lead, get even more defensive items on our heroes before we commit to anything too large?
Yeah, လုံးဟာတော့ defense မပါဘူး Crystal ကအဲ့တန်းယူနေကြည့်ဦးဆောင်းကျန်းတယ်တက်ကတော့
I mean, they can even see now the push up top has caught, like, there's so much vision up top. They've seen that, like, oh, okay, we're safe down here. No, we can go for this tower.
Fortified.
Loader's PK.
Bottom tower is
Instead, start to move towards the mid lane a little bit. BZM again threatens with the jump. XM is
under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Any extra
Seems to be the day for it. Dyer's top tower is under attack.
That bottom tier 2 tower, Juggernaut shoves out the wave the entire way through and is getting close to a swift blink now. After AC completed on Like It, man, they're getting some big items.
Now, Ame's illusions aren't enough to stop this mid wave. With the help of the Like It wall from Xnova now, he's going to do that pick off.
Should be a pretty easy bring down. So they find and kill the Wyvern.
BZM wants a little bit more here as he gets the regen.
Just expiring, jumping. And we'll find a creep. Extra 100 gold in the bank. No problem.
Nice. Toby gets the wolf. Let's go.
Strange to say, Radiant's middle
and look at
tower
this.
is under
Chrysalis
attack.
just, with the help of a dragon, taking that tower down as his allies. Moving towards the Ancients to grab this outpost.
Yeah, bullying movement. That's what you want to see. And the areas where you can farm right now on XG are few and far between. I do like this eventual Shiva's pick that they're getting on Beastmaster. It feels like with all the heals, that was a big part of that sustained live that happened for Tundra last time around.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of value into this game for sure. And Xingqiu going for these high skill items as well, grabbing himself a Yules, so trying to interrupt some of these plays. You know, you have these blinks coming in from heroes, you just immediately get a Yules on them. I'm not memeing. Yules is a high skill item.
No, I'm with you. I was I was laughing because I looked and I saw there's 3 greedy enchantments on all of the supports that can get it.
You love the greedy.
Oh, the greedy is good, man.
You're checking it every game.
Well, you know, you got this Blink Dagger queued up for Xnova. That's how you get there eventually. We don't have the only one without it.
We don't have any dormant Curios left. That's always my go-to. I love those. So, if you're XG right now, are we
Yes, 16ကောင်နဲ့
You like lightly contest, but that's how they got into that terrible fight last time.
Yeah, but the first one was really good.
That's true.
You know, they're
50-50
on Roche fights this game.
That's true. And one of them came right afterwards, didn't even lose the Aegis.
I would say with how XG have played so far this tournament, I would imagine them to try and push out these waves, try and get some vision down, and contest the Roche.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
Oh, what I miss?
BZM leading the charge again.
Over here!
And zips on forward, finds Xnova. Pops the ulti. BZM forced to pop his BKB. And then get out of here. Wait, jumps back in. Ooh, buddy.
Now, meanwhile, we got a smoke coming in. Chrysalis coming close to XM and Xingqiu. Ulti dropped by Toby.
Gets caught and killed. Shows the value of that Omni Flash. And now, Xingqiu in further trouble. Tundra hitting hard, finding kills.
BZM wants to join the party here. It's an arcane room, so he's okay with burning a little bit. just to get up with his allies. This Amplify Damage Rune annihilated that Pango, and now it is coming for your towers.
That jumps forward, Chrysalis.
Okay.
Tier 4.
Danger there for Xnova. That could have been a disaster.
And ready at a moment. They throw out the blast to also have another golden break. So these towers are going to live a little bit longer. They also Shiva's done now for the Beastmaster.
Yeah, Shuivi out here.
Let's go in hunting ethereal mode. A couple more hits is all they need. They got to take down. Even further Joe and Chrysalis is walking away. BCS on Xnova.
Này we out here.
And Xnova lives. Oh my god.
Might be able to do a bit by BCM, but the inside the base still low. The rest of XG is cleaning up. Can they take down any more? Toby's going to fall. The hold happens.
Xnova surviving long enough to get the curse off to delay BZM. Gives so much room for XG to go out there, and now the third Roche has spawned.
It was almost an instant spawn. And Jug is not here. Do they realize, though? Are they going to go and check? Oh, man, that was a huge moment.
You got summons. Surely you're going to go. Soxa did scout already. He also knows it's up. He threw poison in there.
They have buyback. I kind of feel like you have to go for something here. Also, it was Tundra that got the last Roche. So they're not going to get a roar. So I think they just get this in time.
I mean, Soxa sees it, but
they're on the other side of the map. They cannot get here in time.
No, there's no way.
Third Roche going the way of XG.
That is an Aegis. That is a refresher, and that is some cheese to the team that mere seconds ago was losing a mid lane of racks. And it was only the range racks that went down.
Oh man, this is gonna get a little spicy here in a second. I'm starting to feel it. It did cost a buyback from the Wyvern, but well worth it considering what they were able to get out of it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Shiva's now claimed for BZM, still an 11k gold lead, but signs of life for XG.
And you think about how that push started too, right? It was an amplified damage rune on a Jug who managed to get the ulti onto the Pango. You can't really be sure this stuff's gonna happen again.
Oh yeah. 9k on that gold lead. And where are we gonna go now as Tundra? Because again, they are really far ahead. The gold lead is into their favor. You're getting these big items, but they're playing now into an Aegis. I mean, I do feel like they've shown that they have what it takes to sort of team fight with XG in the late game. But do they want to try and just sort of delay out longer? Is there a point where they sort of run out of steam a bit here? Tough to know.
Yeah, these are the questions. But right now, you can see the confidence is back a little bit here as they move outside. There is a great Op Sentry combo inside their base right now, so there is some good vision here for Tundra. Maybe they can take advantage of that to try and find themselves a good play, but for now, they don't really see a whole lot of what's going on. They're trying to just keep pushing in this bottom lane, using the creeps, but XSS is back to defend.
You can see there too a Ghost Scepter picked up for the Pango, understanding the danger in this game. Of course, with Soxa in it, you've also got the Demonic Purge that can come out and then you're just done.
Yeah.
Oh, Ame decides to go for Satanic after the MKB.
Yeah, he's got himself double Dispel here, so very helpful. And we are going to have, it looks like 2 Abyssals at some point here as well. Chrysalis, you know, not exactly sure what he's going to do. He's got a few items going on right now.
Yeah, the Swift Blink seems like it makes sense. A straight up refresher bot now on the Beastmaster.
Link ini ko lau pai nào nên xin đi đâu rồi.
24 on Beast. XXS has had a pretty standout game after a rough laning stage. And now a smoke up of Tundra.
Link ini phép video tốn đi rồi. Nó còn tốn còn đâu mà link ini to to nên rồi. Fight này nè biểu là.
That Shiva's certainly helpful.
Sau này anh đi thay rồi. Link ini đi con này đôi phép cả dán đuổi đó. Tin tụi nó là tụi sau này ra. Bây giờ kêu này nè link ini ít được khá cao cũng được bây giờ. Tên đâu.
It would appear Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Nullifier
top tower is under
XM.
attack.
It's going to be the next
Radiant's
call.
top tower
As has
fallen.
been the case so far
Surely
in
that
this
was
game, the big stage is
intentional?
that guy, Saksa, and does not care about the Nullifier.
Well, he does have an A on disc.
That's
so
true.
He might care a little bit.
He'll care about that when he's saving other people. He doesn't care.
It's gonna help. There was also a force staff just picked up by Toby too, so that's another issue for that. And Tormentor will be coming up here shortly. XG in a very good position for it.
Duration ကတော့ over တယ်ပွဲတိုင်းနေပါပြီးသွားလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဟို hero ကအန်တာမလို့နဲ့လေလေဂိမ်းပွဲအကြာကြီးဆော့လိုက်ရပြီးတော့ hero တွေတင်းနေအဲ့ over ဟောနောက်ပိုင်းနေရဒီကြီးပြောင်းမသွားပဲချက်ပြောင်းသွားကွာရှုပ်လို့တဲ့ဟုတ်တယ်လေဂိမ်းရောက်နေပြီသူတို့ကလိုက်ခောက်နေပြီခုတော့မှချလို့ခတ်နေချဖို့ခတ်နေဟိုကတော့ပြေးသွားတယ်900တော့ရ
63 gold gained for that.
Okay, I mean, it helps out, right? Draws a lot of attention mid. Ame takes the top tower at the same time. He has a couple people smoking next to him right now.
Roar back up in 15 seconds because of that level 25.
Toby buyback here.
Trying to blow him up in the cold embraces there. Another way to say that. BZM, he can't be getting rooted. BZM able to get out. Oh, last second, able to get the stun from the Croaker.
Okay, Toby go back for this. There's still troll ulti. They have not gotten anything here.
A dangerous situation, 25 seconds until the Aegis is back up. How much do they have in the tank right now on Tundra to fight this?
I think they want to try and kite this, right? If you can get a disruption or something, try to like bait them into a bad fight right now if you can. And XG are backing away because they don't want that. They don't want to fight with no Aegis. There's no point.
Playing it safe. They get the double roar, they find themselves the kill, they walk down mid, they get a buyback as well.
And they're going to start pushing this wave. They're going to try and find something right now. There's a circle there from BZM. He encircles exactly where they are.
Look at XG, they're just running back to the base.
They're drawing the exact same line that Tundra are moving on right now. They're perfectly predicting this. Will this Swift Blink open something up for Chrysalis? Will he get lucky with a bash? What did he
Baby အဓိကပိုင်းတဲ့ချိန်မပြတ်ရင်ကိုအားမေခုတ်ပါမနာဘူးကိုအားမေကိုဒါကနဲ့ဝဝမနာရောဖီးတိုင်နပါပဲ33ကတေးပြီ
They're also kiting over to the other side. Two fights going on simultaneously. Looks like XM is able to get away for a moment, and the Pango rolls ethereal mode. Trying to survive. On nothing.
He's got a
barrier. I can't believe XM did that, getting away with murder. And now XM also finds himself the storm. The top no. He gets the BKB out. Tundra in shambles after that fight. They got torn.
ချက်ကနေကိုဟုတ်တယ်ချက်ပြောင်းချက် BKB 3နိုင်တယ်ချက်ပြောင်းလို့မရတော့ဘူးဗျာ
They have not lost a step right now. Simply utilizing their opponent's net worth lead to gain more gold.
Yes.
It's genius.
And now they do not have a Warlock for this defense because of the buyback. I mean, also no golem for 80, so even when he's back up, it doesn't really matter. This is going to be a full lane of racks. XG as they take this down. And, I mean, how much more do they want to go for?
Dyer's middle barracks are under attack.
What's the call, XG?
This is a sorry state of
15
affairs.
seconds till Jug is back up. 33 is
Top tower
behind
is
them.
under attack.
It's not quite here yet. Ame's just going to leave his illusions there. Slowly back away.
Structures have been fortified.
Exo is just calling for the retreat, drops some vision behind
33. Oh, I thought he was going to go in, but no. He is sending in his creep and finds XM. You can see Dota plus win probability still in favor of Tundra somehow. But it's starting to swing, I think.
I mean, if they eventually win a fight, it'll be great.
Yes.
Just so far, they consistently not be able to do that. Yeah, Ame is picking up the lion's share of this gold, so just immediately buys himself box 2
and buys out for it. So he will have buyback in, a couple of creep camps, but if the fight happens before that,
Probably 20နောက်ပိုင်းခစ်စားလာနော်
could be a problem.
တော့ချက်3နေရ
staying on the
ပြီးတော့
aggressive
ခဏ
here, going in behind the creep.
ဒီက heal ကိုကြာလို့ရ
Come on out, but I mean, they have ops and sentry in this area, so they're pretty sure it's empty. Hoping that someone's smoking through, they can catch them off guard, perhaps. As
Soxa is lurking in behind, grabbing these waves right now, trying to delay things once more.
Do whatever they can to stop the push that they know might be coming back their way. And the other thing now too is that with bots 2 online, Ame has the buyback TP in play to potentially just end it if the fight looks good.
That is true. They have so much split push potential on Tundra though. It's very annoying. Like we got the multiple wolves now for the Lycan. He got the +2 at 25. So he's sending them out right now. He's got his help of the Overlord creep. He got a Storm Spirit who's zipping around. And have we gotten a good catch for the Storm yet?
Not
like
really,
we don't have
no.
Scythe really.
The best thing that we've seen is Troll Roots, and Soxa tries to blink away, TP out. Do they find him? Oh, you sneaky Soxa.
Yeah, he was here for so long. Xnova will find his ward though, figuring, okay, if this guy's been here for that long, he definitely dropped some vision. So good eye on that one.
But again, you bring all those people over, what are Tundra doing? Shoving out all of those lanes. They've got one in pushed very far on bottom. They do see Ame bottom alone.
XSS, Lotus is forced out here, but doesn't panic BKB.
Yeah, and Ame now TP's mid and realizes we're in the area.
I mean, it's when you look at a creep wave and you got 5 wolves on it. With
Dude,
it's like, okay, this is a little crazy.
Bristlet shows on the wave, so does Ame. Underneath some sentries, but no.
Oh, Miwabi. Business. PD 高呢啩，換得嚟又撈嘛。Tê đi PD. Tê đi. Ui chết đi ai又đi. Đủ bài bữa.
Just locked down, no way out. Bot back on Xnova to secure the Roach Pit. They're still chasing though. They're not having it.
Qua lỡ chúng ta mà giảm ấy, có ngoài đi không? Ame giảm nhái chết thì BKB ấy lục cay mà giảm á. Cay play mà giảm mà tha lại bảo 3-3 machine. That Lucian trying to be.
Out 33, it's a dangerous time to stick around.
And they know too, right? There's no worries here. Go back, get another Aegis, Keys, Refresher Shard. And Tundra, what can you do?
The roar is there. They know it's going to be dropping quick. Tundra. We always knew that this could have been an option.
There's still a curse right now. There's no Omni Slash.
Think about it, Zip. BZM not going in yet. The roar is there. Finds a Crystal.
Điều gì ra đấy, anh không đặt này kề mà, ai đâu nghe à. Đi đâu ê, cô video bên lớn mà rồi cô video xì đi ra đây. Quá bị đau.
And then able to zip away. But the damage has been done. XG. China is back, baby.
Great patience there from Xnova to hold out on that curse there. Make sure there wasn't going to be a zip in steal because he definitely had the moment. But it was taken away by Xnova. And these buybacks have been very clutch from him, not diebacking after, and just helping to secure these objectives. And there's also an amplify damage rune here, it looks like in the river too.
Quay the PV này Uber rồi mày kia.
All of this.
Ồ để 3-3 ပြဝယ်ပေးလိုက်ရမှာနော်အဲ့ဒါဆိုကြိုးလို့ရတယ်
Ready for
Friendly point တော့ညာနေပြရအကြောင်းကြီးရဲ့အဲ့ဒါ playoff တွေပါ playoff တွေအကျုံးဝင်နေထင်တယ် bro အဆုံးထိအကျုံးဝင်ပါလေ bro point တွေရ bro လောက်ထားတယ်ပေါ့ sorry bro reply နဲ့တော့ကြာကျွန်တော် comment တွေကကျွန်တော်ထွက်ပြီးကြည့်နေရလို့ပါပြောရရင်အောင်ဒီလက်
I mean, this is the road to
ဖုန်းမှာကြည့်လို့မရလို့ကျွန်တော် comment တွေကိုအပြင်ထွက်ပြီးကြည့်နေလို့ comment တွေ reply ပြန်တာနောက်ကြပါမယ်
Surely they're going to push right now. Dead Storm Spirit, 2 Cheese, an Aegis, a Refresher Shard. They are coming high ground right now.
BZM, you gotta do something to stop this.
They're calling for wraparound. Chris is trying to get an angle for an insane Omni Slash. He's decided this is the play for them right now.
You've got to do something.
ဒါမိကြတော့ဆောင်းကျဲရပြပြည်လိုက်တာတကောင်းအိတ်ချမ်လောက်ကိုအရင်နောက်မှာချင်းကျူလာပဲဖြစ်တယ်အရင်မိမရှိုးရင်တက်လိုက်ရရင်ပြောဒါပေမဲ့ Nullifier ပါမှတက်လို့ရမှာဟိုနေ့
Now underneath vision, Andre moves over, takes away the wall, and stops it.
They don't want to go in, like, if they haven't bought back already.
Yeah.
You know, they're just going to sack the racks instead, knowing they have a tier 2 bottom. So they will hold that. They're going to give BZM his opportunity for perhaps another buyback after.
just in case this push comes bottom lane for the Megas.
Very fortunate for Tundra that they had not lost that bottom tier 2 tower yet. You can see Dota Plus, in spite of the dominant position, they feel like it's still just 50-50. And to be honest, you win one fight with this Tundra lineup at this stage of the game, they could run down lanes. It's a possibility, but it's feeling harder and harder for it to function.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. I mean, once is hard enough. Oh, and Vlad's as well. That's a GG Vlad's right there from ZingQ.
Oh yeah, he knows.
Flying that out. He just wants a little last item, squeeze out every bit of juice he's got left. He's got no buyback anyway, so he wants to give his team an aura to go high ground.
You know, and we talked about it. Do you take the risk as XG to go high ground? You got double cheese, you got Aegis for 2 minutes. They're still not willing to. This is a patient team. They have waited years to get back into this situation to be playing at TI. They can wait another 10 minutes.
Also more fantasy points.
True enough.
မပြောရပြီ fantasy point ကရတယ်เนาะ bro မဟိုကောင်လည်းပြောသွားတယ် fantasy point နေ ဟုတ်တယ်ဒီကခတ်တော့ရအဲ့လိုမျိုး instant ဖြတ်လို့ရအောင် nullify ဟိုက်လဲလူသွားပြီ cherry မို့ဟိုရတယ်ဆိုတော့ရတော့ရအောင်ဒါပေမဲ့တကားနဲ့ RD နဲ့တက်ဖို့ဆိုတာကြီးဆိုရလို့ဆိုရင်တော့မတွေ့တော့မတွေးနဲ့တခြားကောင်တွေဘာလို့ဒီရိုက်တဲ့နေလဲပါသေးတယ်ဟိုမြင်းမြုပ်လိုက်လို့ရှိရင်ဗျာတိလားပိုင်းတာကြီးလွဲသွားမှာ
specific moment of going for that Roche fight
ရက်သွားမှာပြီးတကောင်လဲဆို
turn and then it was like everything else
ဒါပေမဲ့တကောင်ကောင်အဓိက white ban မဟုတ်လို့ရှိရင် white ban ပန်ကိုတိုင်နေအဲ့တော့ကောင်နဲ့တကောင်တက်လို့ရတယ်အဲ့ကောင်တွေကိုတိုက်လို့ဆို stone spin နဲ့တူတူဝင်ပြီးတော့လေတိလားအဲ့လိုဆိုမဆိုတကားနဲ့စစ်ကိုပေးလိုက်ဗျာဒီဘက်ချောင်းနဲ့ပြီးထပ်ပိုင်းကောက်ပြီးကြပါသူကတော့စစ်မထွက်ပဲနဲ့တော့ဘလုံးမပိုင်းလို့မရအောင်
There's a lot of people that weren't quite sure also
to
maintain that level of play going into, you know, the international itself playing. But when the games go late, China somehow always seems to be able to pull out these amazing comebacks.
Yeah, I think for me watching XG and Tidebound, it has definitely looked like it's just this surplus of tools that they have as we get to this late game, because they're just so good at breaking down these team fights, and it's like they've already thought about all these different permutations and they have these ideas and these combos they want to use, and all of this together there must be like some just very strong either just insight that they already have or communication of just how these fights can happen and all the different tools we have to make them go our own way, right?
So they hold on to this high ground there, Chrysalis. You know, this is the one downside too when you're playing Battle Fury heroes that don't have a helm also. It means you have to like show on a wave and then you might die. Otherwise you can just send down creeps. It's fine.
It is crazy that we have heroes that buy Battle Fury and helm. The fact that you had to point that out is insanity.
One of them got banned, you know?
I know.
So still floating a lot of gold at this point. BZM opting, of course, like you talk about, for the Hex instead of something like an Aghanim Scepter.
XM is getting close here. That we're very, very concentrated down here. Execute
moment. Finds him. Now they know when to try and turn it. 33 right on it as well. Enough damage to take out.
The game is here, like that. So now.
It's a mega kill now. They take down another 3 clutch kills, and the buyback from BZM was not able to get back into this fight.
You know, I'm starting to think that this Troll Warlord hero might be a problem in the late game. Because it would appear there's nothing you can do when you're just constantly being rooted and dying.
You're not wrong. It's kind of crazy how that functions.
Chrysalis, he's looking for a snipe. This is a dangerous play.
I mean, you gotta do something right.
Oh, the guy who did that here on
Want to save the Omni Flash was close to an explosion. But the nullifier, oh, we can't get up to the higher arms. Toby is going to be caught. Now it's a mega kill. The silence. All the control does not matter. Still manages to kill the gold anymore. This isn't an accident now. XG wanting to close out this game here. They're thinking about it. Sans Aegis, they move in. Now the pullback. There's the buyback on all the heroes. They're making it.
Now we are in damn nigga.
Ame still alive.
Aim low.
Hitting on the towers. 33 ready to jump.
Ah, who went why? Asia. Ah. Yeah, we Asia chạy thoát về ra rồi mà đai. Đai đâu quá rồi. GGW quá. Russia mà toa cha lại đã mau à đó. Russia phải giật rồi mau à, tuy tuy đã mới về là cha lại. Russia lý được qua lý được qua đi. Tức là cái này giờ sau anh xui miếng nhúc này từ con nếp bay luôn lên mày rồi, chúng ta xả lại ai nhúc để hả nè, con nếp nhúc đã, tay đi nếp nhúc đã, đúng mắt ta luôn mày rồi, gì đâu được, cái đó to lên pa, chua rồi nè, chắc chắn là gì à, cái đó to thế là luôn được rồi, bảo rồi nó không bay mày à, đúng mà, qua phía luôn mày rồi, chứ còn ta không nếp bay mi qua, đúng mà pi luôn mày rồi, chua rồi ali bay này mà, sit down khâu luôn xem, thì đây đi này sẽ chua luôn thế này.
The first blood as well. It's a bit of a slow game as we kind of expected as well, seeing that the Extreme Gaming they have a lot of slow entries.
Màတက်တာတော့ bro ဒီကောင်လေးကလုံးဝပူတေးကြအောင်စောင့်တေးကြရဲဆိုတာထက်ကိုပိုပြီးတေးကြအောင်စောင့်တာဗျာအမြဲတမ်းအဲ့လိုမျိုးဒီကောင်လေးခမ်းပတ်ပြီးတော့အရင်တရားနေတော့ကလည်းရှုံးတာဗျာဒီအခုနောက်ပိုင်းအသင်းတွေတော့ဗျာအဲ့လိုဖြစ်သွားပြီတရားစောင့်နေတဲ့အသင်းတွေတော့ဗျာ
so well on these mistakes.
Don't want to save play
this tournament. This is what they've done. Where you can see that they've isolated like what is the way that we're going to win the team fight, which was somebody deal with Saksa. And then Troll, Ame, can go completely ham on everybody else. He counters all of the cores of Tundra, and it's like the one time that they were able to pull that off, the game goes completely in their direction. And up until that point, it was legitimately, they were just biding their time. They were just waiting.
And it's also the fact that I felt like XG really utilized being on the Radiant side because it actually meant that they could kill Roshan between 15 to 20 minutes. And because they already had a bad start from the lane, from the side lanes didn't really go well. And being able to claim that Roshan before it moves to the other side, which would probably allow Tundra to get it, I think that was like a really, really crucial moment in the game.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about these side lanes not going so well. There were still a lot of rotations, and I think something that could have been a little bit better to swing this in the way of XG earlier was the rotations coming out of XM Penga.
Yeah, I mean, the first two rotations weren't really successful. This is the second one. You know, some may say that he's not a licensed driver there, so he missed a couple of crucial kills in the early stages. And they kind of needed him to connect, right? Because they were having a tough time on the side lanes, and the Pango kind of needed to help them come back into the game.
That was also at 7 and 14 minutes, right? So they were not just fighting, they were fighting around an objective. They were trying to claim the Wisdom Shrine. So if you fail to connect on those kills, it's even more impactful than if you're just like randomly ganking a side lane because you have a rune or something like that.
But that also kind of speaks the strength of their overall lineup, right? They could make mistakes, but there are still a lot of options to come back into the game later with their lineup.
Yeah, we always talk about like when a draft is easy to execute if there's those contingencies for XG. There was. First Roche is always a big one, Lacoste, when it comes to any game of Dota, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It does give you tempo. This is something that they wanted to get on Tundra, but also what happened prior to that is, you know, there's always going to be memes when you see Troll, the way he's trying to utilize his ulti, 33 running away, 900 search radius for it. It's just too funny to watch, and Tundra realizes that XG realizes that at this point that they showed 3 heroes, so they immediately go inside the Roche pit. They take the Aegis for themselves. XXS is going to be holding that Aegis, and they're going to be losing quite a lot on him. The fact that I like about this fight is also a bit of a polarizing between two offlaners, what they're doing. One finished the Helm, the other one didn't. He did go for the Aghanim Scepter with Winter Wyvern. It does allow him to get the sustain in this fight, because there's a lot of sustain overall on the side of Extreme Gaming. It does allow them to get the fight, and another good roll from XM to be able to finish off these two heroes.
I like the build from XXS, to be honest, because I feel like they understood on XG that all they needed to do was bide their time and go late game. And late game Beastmaster, he's not about the Helm Bomb too. Like, he's about even the Aghanim Scepter, this just kind of healing you. It's really about like Refresher, double BKB, double Roar, and we saw how much impact it was having in the team fight. So just if you have faith that you can get there, then I feel like the build makes sense. And that was where they wanted to win the game, because they had Troll versus a bunch of very good matchups for Troll.
Yeah, he truly understood his role. Like, he's the front line and he needs to be in front to soak up the damage. That's why he didn't go for the dagger. Usually sometimes you see Beast go dagger.
Yeah.
And they kind of had the dagger from like the other heroes, right? The Tiny, the Pangolier, and would actually love to see the Wyvern actually get the dagger earlier, because it kind of limited a lot of his team fight presence, because he didn't rush a dagger that game.
I think one of the biggest team fights that was an impact for is the one we're about to see here, right? It was 26 minutes around that Tormentor area, and it feels like so much of Tundra is grouping up together. If this Wyvern had had that blink, it could have been a big swing.
He was also kind of connecting to the fight, so he was far away, but I could understand why the Troll decided I needed to hold the high ground. I cannot leave this area, you know? Yeah. But at the same time, if the Wyvern would have had a dagger, it would mean that this fight was going to be so easy, because he could have easily gotten at least a two-man curse here, save the Troll, and maybe the team fight would just end right there.
You can see in this fight, this is what happens when SD is not the primary focus, is you have Ame ults, and the person that he ults gets imprisoned, and he gets kited, and then he dies. And this was the name of the game. It was, if they kill Soxa on XG, they win the fight. If they don't kill Soxa or deal with him, they don't win the fight.
That one was a double whammy as well, because Beast Roar was used on that target, and Shadow Demon is just sitting there with enough range to be like, all I have to do is look at where this Roar is going out, Lacoste. That's my target. That's my teammate that I have to focus on saving.
Pretty much, but Shadow Demon, they focused Shadow Demon throughout the whole game for the pretty much last 25-30 minutes, because they realized, even though he had a couple of defensive items, Ether Lens, he was having Ghost Scepter as well, Aeon Disc on top of that, but you have heroes with the Blink Dagger, and as soon as they got Nullifier on Pangolier, this whole thing kind of changed, because they can initiate on top of him, get him to maybe even put him in a position where he's using the defensive disruption on himself, and then your Juggernaut's just straight up gonna die, because you're playing into Curse, you're playing into Troll. This is not the matchup that you want to be fighting 1v1.
Yeah, it felt like the Jug was in that unstoppable, unkillable sort of area. I'm sure he felt it too on Chrysalis. We saw him going a little bit deep on that high ground push. This was one of the moments that we could have seen Tundra just close it out. Extreme Gaming wanted that late game. They were biting for it. It ended up paying off for them with such a good high ground defense. If this crumbled the Jenkins edge, who knows how it could have gone.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of timings that were very important. Like, I love Dota because you have so many, like, rock, paper, scissors type scenarios where, like, first the Ghost Scepter on Pango means that he can't be Jug ulted, and therefore Jug is stronger than Pango. And then once the Pango gets the Ghost Scepter, all of a sudden Jug is getting kited, and then Troll is stronger, and then SD comes in, and he's important, but SD is dead at the start of some of these fights or dealt with. So, I mean, that's just Dota, and it's basically, like, try to take the good fight when that window is open.
I mean, it's also the fact that the SD kind of had too much to do in the team fights.
Eventually.
And when you look at the XG lineup, they had, I think, equally distributed responsibilities among the other heroes. The Curse, the Embrace, the Raw, you know, they needed to go on SD with the Beast, and someone else has another duty, but whereas the SD had to watch so many things.
It's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure to deal with.
Do you think that was one of the biggest unravelings then, Lacoste, when we look back at that, is how much pressure it was on one support, how little the rest of the lineup could really stop that support being targeted?
They try to end the game relatively early on side of Tundra. You saw this 23-minute Blink Dagger on Lycan with the Orchid as well, because he's playing into Winter Wyvern, so you want to have something to get on top of him and try to kill him before he can get the defensive item he did. But this is not your traditional itemization on Lycan, because you want to be building into maybe your Shard, maybe AC, your auras. It's way too difficult for them to take the fight. But
this to me was the crucial fight for Extreme Gaming, and you mentioned the items. Reflected Omni Slash there, Jing Q used the Lotus Orb. Like, that was incredibly important. And then at the same time, XM is jumping the backline SD, and he has that nullifier that we talked about. So Soxa had to imprison himself, because it's the only thing that he can do that is not going to get purged by the nullifier. And if he's imprisoning himself, he can't imprison to save the reflected Omni Slash or the Roar or the Curse or all of these other things that he needs to do. So once again, like, this is just so they find a way to perfectly execute a single fight, and then they turn it into an advantage for the rest of the game.
That's what makes them a really, really tough opponent right now. It's either you beat them really hard in the lane, and then you have to also be able to execute in a team fight, which actually kind of happened this game. Tundra won the lanes, but they couldn't really, I think, control the first floor jump, which was really, really crucial. And that kind of, I think, gave Extreme Gaming the time that they needed to get back into the game.
How would you deal? Well, actually, let's talk about our standout player, because he's on our screen, right? XXS here on that Beastmaster Jenkins. You're just like, there's no one else. I don't know. Pengo's kind of in there for discussion. XM did so well.
He's definitely in there. I mean, when you have a comeback like this, you pretty much have to shout out every player. Like we saw Xingqiu had the Lotus Orb play in the most recent fight that we watched. But XXS, I feel like he had a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Like, he had the double roar, he had to go on the right targets, he picked up every Aegis, so they're saying, okay, you're going to carry the game. He was top of net worth the entire game as well. He was going for a scaling build.
I would give it to XM because he found a new spot to be stuck in. I didn't even know that was possible. That ending fight where they're basically fighting 4v5.
Imagine winning a game where you get stuck, and I'm sure when he pressed W, he's like, okay, now I'm going to get out. He just gets even more stuck.
Yeah, that shows how much better their lineup is late game, because they won it basically 4v5 at that point. He didn't really do much apart. I think he had one stun on one hero initially, then he did nothing after that.
I wonder if anyone else out there has ever experienced being stuck in that situation before.
Oh no, Pango players, they find a new spot
They do find it, yeah.
Yeah, they find all of the nooks and crannies there. We're also going to be looking, though, at some deeper details about this meta forming, just exactly how teams have adapted, because our biggest question mark has always been around this Helm of the Dom. What are people going to be doing within the next few days to counteract it, right? And for us, Purge, well, he knows exactly what these players are thinking about this item.
Thank you, Nat. Yes, the Helm of the Dominator is the item of the tournament so far, and how teams react to it at this point is really, really crucial to whether or not they win the tournament. And Tundra, being the Helm of the Dominator team, is certainly trying to solve this problem. But ultimately, it starts in the laning stage. They pick this very strong double heal safe lane, the Juggernaut as well as the Warlock, allows them to pump so many heals in and then later get an advantage with their ranged heroes. So that basically results in a really fast, a slower Helm of the Dominator for the Beastmaster, but a faster Helm of the Dominator for the Lycan at 7 minutes and 40 seconds. And on the other side of the map, Beastmaster is still working towards his at 8 minutes. So this basically means your timing goes faster. 3-3 was able to use his Helm of the Dominator to kill the enemy tier 1, and because he got his so early, after killing it, he ends up bringing his creep all the way to the safe lane so that he can then defend against their opponent's one that ended up coming later. So this is going to delay the gold advantage that the XG got with their Helm of the Dominator while compounding their advantage. They even rotated those 3 heroes to slow things down. They did eventually give up on it, but the amount of minutes extra that it took for XG to take this tower over Tundra gave them a nice gold advantage and more map control. In the meantime, they were getting things done. The Helm of the Overlord, the stronger Helm of the Dominator here, ends up being finished at 12.5 minutes, which is very fast. They get a stronger creep in this one, the old Black Dragon, and then they're going to use that to pressure the map. So this laning stage that they drafted towards, to make sure that they had a better early game and a faster Helm of the Dominator, they countered their opponent's Helm of the Dominator moves, and then they used their bigger timing to end up pressuring mid towers as well. But what was on the other hand is that XG picked the heroes they did, knowing that they were going to have worse lanes because they would have better heroes for some of these solutions. They first glyph this tower, and then they bring the Winter Wyvern over. He grabbed a really weird facet, actually, that almost nobody takes, that does allow you shield buildings. That would allow them to counteract this push that Tundra is doing. So both teams are on top of this Helm of the Dominator meta. They both have solutions to try to deal with those early pushes, and we'll see how this keeps cascading throughout the tournament, because this game, it was not good enough for Tundra.
Thank you so much, Pudge. And we got more of that insight, just exactly what's happening, that people are willing to just sort of sacrifice their Helm of the Dominator creep to stop the pushes of the other Helm of the Dominator creep.
Meta is evolving, but meta is evolving also with the itemization. We saw a very interesting build coming out from BZM. This is not your traditional build by any means, because he was building into Holy Locket as his item with the Soul Ring. So this gives you quite a, I would say, infinite mana, because when you check the numbers, it is 255 mana with 17 charges on this Holy Locket, slightly over 2 minutes that you get it from, plus the Soul Ring, plus the charges that you get from potentially fighting. So it is very interesting. This is the first time seeing it. Maybe somebody else did it before, but we can see some new stuff, new tech coming out, and this is very, very interesting.
So this is dependent just for the Storm, not anything related to his matchup in the mid lane perfect?
I think it's any hero that builds into Sange and Kaya also enjoys it because that's going to amplify it as well. Like you'll see Ember will also go for a Holy Lock. I think BZM is the one who first started doing that as well. I think it's just a good item, and especially in this meta where like there's a lot of early pressure from the Helm Doms, like you have to have sustain to get into the side lanes and like actually be active. It didn't, end up working out, but the idea is there.
Yeah, I mean the stats are just very nice for a core hero. I think I've been seeing a lot more core heroes buy the item nowadays, so we might see a shift. Like it's no longer a support item; it's just like a very good early fighting item for cores.
Also, Winter, did you enjoy Purge pointing out the facet that Winter Wyvern took?
I mean, it's always I think.
He said unconventional was his wording.
I mean, he said it's unconventional. It definitely is according to stats, but I think in a lot of, at least the games I played before I came here, I've seen a couple of players already starting to do it because it's just good against the Helm. It's really nice for your core because it gives you damage, and I think it's just much more reliable overall compared to the recursive facet. Because pro players, they're not going to just clump up and let you get like an Imba curse, and kill everybody.
Sure, yeah, the other facet is more for when you're playing at home and you want to go for the highlight reel on stream, That's a Jenkins move.
Absolutely. I mean, there's like aggressive and defensive, and sometimes people go for some aggressive plays when you just don't need to, right? You have teams that do it all, or players that do it already.
I'm interested to see just what sort of aggression both of these teams are going to be bringing for a Game 2, for a Game 2 draft. XG were very willing to have the lanes lost a little bit. They were willing to bide their time. For TUNDRA, they wanted that aggression in the first game. They really wanted to close it out. Now you've got to put it back a little bit where you go, what exactly is actually going to work here? Because we couldn't even do the early game close out against Extreme Gaming.
It's such a tough one because it was working for TUNDRA.
Yeah.
Like what they wanted to do was happening, and they still lost. So I guess a lot is going to fall into Moon, like breaking down what actually went wrong in that game and how to fix it. I see TUNDRA as the type of team to not completely change their draft and say, okay, we won't do this.
Yeah. That's one that was definitely not on the draft because they executed pretty much perfectly first 15-20 minutes. That Roche fight should have maybe happened because it was also a good play from Extreme Gaming, realizing what needs to be done, taking away Roshan from a team that is 5k gold ahead, which wants to put more pressure. But TUNDRA, seeing how they played out first 15 minutes, it was pretty much flawless, understanding what the holes in Extreme Gaming draft are. And Extreme Gaming, they are a team that we seen it so many times where they just put themselves in a position where they are 5k gold down 10-15 minutes into the game. It feels like they really want to be pushing the limits, see if they can make a comeback, and this is one of the better comeback teams in Dota.
Yeah, I mean, something else to add to that, right? It's not just about the draft. I think which side you're on actually matters a lot. Because if you're playing the way TUNDRA is playing in the first game, you want to be aggressive, you want to secure the lanes. Being on the Radiant side, like I mentioned, the 15 to 20 minute Roshan, that is actually super crucial for you.
Yeah.
You do well in the lanes, you get Roshan, then you can snowball a lot stronger, So I think being on the Radiant side actually matters a lot for how they are playing if they want to keep everything the same.
I totally agree. I think if you were to look back at this game in retrospect, Moon is definitely going to call out the Roche play. It's very interesting though because the trade is a kill on Ame, right? But it's actually not worth it. That's the thing. But you can understand why. Is what XG wants to win the late game with, but you also need the Roshan to go high ground. So all of the fights should be around this objective, whether or not you're killing Ame.
Yeah, to sort of close out this game 1, though, and before we move on, I want to ask about a troll. It's now been picked 9 times in the International and the road to the International, and it's still at a 100% win rate. So how are you taking late game fights against a hero like this?
So apparently click R win game right now.
That's what it feels like, Winter.
Yeah,
is there a solution?
I mean, it's not just the troll. I think it's the other stuff as well that's going on in the game. I think maybe the environment right now is really good for troll to succeed in the game with the Helm, creating pressure. Because troll is not exactly like a super greedy carry. He comes online quick, he hits your buildings, he stands there, and you have those auras on top of him. I think I already mentioned in the previous draft that troll loves auras around him.
Okay. Well, a previous draft, our previous game, that's already been done and dusted. And right now, we get to look forward to a Game 2 draft.
Extreme Gaming versus TUNDRA Esports Game 2.
That's right, in this best of 3, Extreme Gaming already won a game up. It's not elimination, but you definitely want to give yourself the best fighting chance here, Lacoste. You want to stay in this upper bracket, and you want to learn more. You want to be able to find a solution to this team, but also what's working for yourself. So for the game number 2 draft, the bans, any big change-ups, that beast is not going to be getting let through by any means if Extreme Gaming has...
Yeah, for a good reason. He played an extremely good game, really loved the itemization. The big one for me is removing Mars, because they have a lot of success with Mars. I believe he is sitting at 75% win rate on the hero, which does allow them... I think the big reason why Mars is also popular because of the team fight, they are going for both of the facets, but also not necessarily rushing the Blink Dagger. Like, you're building into items, you're getting Yule Scepter, you're getting your Lotus Sword before that, and then maybe you're getting the Blink Dagger. This is kind of a new trend. It gives you... And this is the fan favorite, Earthshaker. Maybe we're going to be seeing some Ogre, but yeah, seeing him use that Enchant Totem, it's always a pleasure to see him on a big stage.
One of the most overpowered heroes of the patch, too. It feels like every year at TI, it always comes back, but right now, it's not really about the big Echo Slams. I mean, you do see them, but it's more about the Shard and the fact that you can one-shot creep waves with the Kaya and Yasha.
Shadow push.
Yeah, it's so hard to push into an Earthshaker fissure.
It also feels a lot of the times that this Echo is dealing so much damage.
Yeah, way too much.
It feels like you can one-shot heroes pretty much in a single creep wave, even with level 1 Echo Slam. And it's also a flex hero. Like, we've seen quite a lot of offlane Earthshakers as well. You're pretty much building in the same items, doing it slower than from the mid lane, but also if you pair him up from the offlane with a position 4 hero, with a range position 4 that can get to the triangle and get those stacks going, so you can use the first Echo Salami to be able to kill those creeps, that's still going to give you...
One thing to really focus as well on the Earthshaker, right? You mentioned the Echo, but it's the Echo on the Ancients as well, right?
Yeah.
You have to be really thinking about that first Echo in the game where he gets his dagger. So are you going to be able to contest it with your lineup? Or are you going to just be happy letting him get the...
That's interesting. Like, do you want to contest, go in and get 2 of your heroes killed because there's going to be like 20 creeps around?
Yeah. Well, I mean, or you just let him get it and you have a trade on the map.
You also can't stack against him because he'll just go echo your creeps and kill you while you're trying to farm stacks. Like, that. When people became comfortable with using the big ulti on the stacks, because I think there was a while where people were like, it's just a meme to echo the stacks, but you never use the first echo for a kill anyway, you know? You get more gold from stacks.
Sometimes in the lane, I guess you use it if you get a solo kill, but it rarely happens. So most of the time it's on the stacks, right? And you gotta be thinking, because it's a huge part of Earthshaker, are you gonna contest? And like both of them mentioned, it's very difficult to contest, risky. So you have to be able to get a trade somewhere. You get a tower, or you push and you farm your own stack, you know, at the very least.
One of the things that Xnova has been amazing on doing on Extreme Gaming is blocking a lot of those tri-camps to ensure that stacks aren't happening. You know, he'll pick himself a strong sort of trade support, and that's his goal, is just to ensure stacks aren't building up by any means, rather than having to even worry about, are we going to contest it? They themselves, though, Warlock might not really fit that sort of archetype, but it doesn't necessarily have to be an
No, I think they wanted a hero that can break the fight as well, especially when Shaker goes in, try to reset it. You also have Queen of Pain, so the picks coming out from the carrier or mid-roll, where the heroes go, these are not...
ကဲအင်္ဂလိပ်ကြည့်မယ်။ Extreme ဘက်ကကောင်တွေကred တွေက100တဲတောင်မဝင်ဘူးရအောင်။အားမေးတကောင်နဲ့ဘယ်လောက်လဲမသိဘူး။
Dire team pick.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be an
No, I think they wanted a hero that can break the fight as well, especially when Shaker goes in, try to reset it. You also have Queen of Pain, so the picks coming out from the carrier or mid-roll, wherever the heroes are going to go, these are not difficult, but these are difficult matchups to be playing into, because to push back during the BKB Warlock with the Golem, so you're wasting good 3-4 seconds of your BKB.
I mean, the Golem is very good at stopping the combo, right? Like, he can come in with a BKB, try to combo your teammates, but the Rock just stops everything. So I think in that regard, they kind of have the better or
10 seconds remaining.
I agree. And to be honest, going into this tournament, I was surprised to see Queen of Pain not picked up as much as it was on the previous patch, because in pro level pubs it was still very popular coming into the tournament. However, for XG, this is a different hero because Ame plays it. So what I really like about this pick here is that you can follow Earthshaker, all the roles you guys just mentioned, 4, 3, 1. They can play Queen of Pain in any lane against Earthshaker right now, and it will do well. So I think that's what makes sense here. Tundra, they go for the counter, which is Pugna. You cannot Queen of Pain ulti much mana, you will kill yourself.
Wow,
And guess
Queen
what? You
Bane
cannot
này.
blade mail the ward.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, we were mentioning about what would be the adjustments that Tundra is making right away. Trying to drop a lot more priority in terms of the team fight with the snap and the partner. And now we are going to see a Slada here, which is not, I think, a very common hero against Pugna because of D-Crab.
Yeah.
But they are probably looking at a type of lineup where you don't really try to play around team fights as much with the whole wing.
10 seconds
so you try to
remaining.
play the side lanes. These two heroes are really good at playing the side lanes. You go around like with
5
two heroes,
seconds
you basically
remaining.
kill anything. And the whole wing is like good magic damage into the D-Crab. So you kind of have a lot of ways of killing heroes through D-Crab.
It's another BKB piercing tool, so they are going to be shutting down Crystallis pretty heavily. You're playing into 3 BKB piercing abilities, Sharpshooter, potentially break mechanic.
He also beats the Earthshaker in the mid lane if they want to go that route.
This has been XM's specialty for a long time, especially when we've been seeing these Ember Spirits being popular, Void Spirits as well, something that he's going to be playing into a melee matchup.
And it's a good counter.
It's a great pick.
Yeah, you remove the Fatal Bonds, you remove the Slada Amp.
This is an S tier Abaddon pick. It counters pretty much all of XG.
They need to ban Abaddon counters. Like Doom, I think is one of the biggest counters.
10 seconds remaining.
Like you can't heal, he just needs to Doom you before you get your ulti off.
5
so that's something that you have to
remaining.
be on the lookout for. And obviously there's the break, right, from the Sharpshooter.
Radiant team ban.
I mean, I like Abba here too because Tundra can run it in any of the side lanes against Queen of Pain, depending on where it goes, and it does well. Although we have seen Ame as a quad carry do well against Abaddon. It just plays differently as a carry.
I actually think the Quad is probably going to go mid because the Abaddon is probably not going to go mid. I think that would be my trail of thought right now after I'm looking at the Abaddon pick. So they do remove the Doom, and right now they remove the Doom themselves when they could have just picked it to counter it. So they probably have something else in mind already. They ban Doom and Darkseer.
10 seconds remaining.
What are they trying to do here?
Could be, I mean, you have Warlock as your
5
laning partner.
seconds
It could
remaining.
be Alchemist, it could be Faceless Void that does give you a good laning stage. And if
Medusa maybe? But Medusa doesn't care about Doom. He cares about Darkseer, not Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the heroes that you mentioned, Lacoste. I think they're quite good. Faceless Void would be quite solid. I mean, there's nothing really to kill him in this game so far. Earthshaker stun is the only really good disable for him, and I don't think that's enough to kill a Void full to 0. Not a farm Void.
What else could Tundra be thinking about banning here? Because a lot of times
TA, Slada TA.
I mean, also Ursa, I guess. Like XG really does like to play the bursty carries, and I feel like double down on the Slardar amp and just insta kill somebody. Sure, there's the decrep. Okay, they ban Ursa.
It would give them so many objective takings on the map because you have Slardar, you have Ursa, you can basically kill Tormentor Roshan in 5 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Ame has a few options. We're assuming it's Ame. Could still be Ame Quad, but I'm sure XG has a few options here.
Remaining.
They get to see the whole Tundra draft, so they will get the
5 seconds remaining.
Hashtag perfect pick.
have you decided where you see this Earthshaker going now that we've revealed a bit more for Tundra?
Probably mid, I guess. Mid is probably the
So you feel most comfortable.
Yeah, most likely.
What the hell? What the hell?
You kind of want to maybe build Crimson Guard against
Abandon.
I think that could be an option.
Yeah.
The root is pretty nice against the quad.
Broodmother?
Radiant team pick.
Oh, Sand King, yeah.
Okay, so they don't go for a Helm hero, but instead they just go for
scaling, more scaling.
Yeah, it's a 33 classic. It's also something BZM has been playing a lot.
I know you've been a big fan of his Sand King Jenkins. You always talked about his itemization, like that one null talisman that he does buy. But you also need to rely a lot on stacking.
5 seconds remaining.
Because he's not the strong laner. Even though I've watched some of the replays from Tundra, they did lane for a couple couple of minutes first, and then you will have Saksa go into triangle, try to get some stacks going in the outer ring as well, because Sanking, he can still farm it. It got nerfed because of the distance between the camps, so he can't like fully farm, especially the outer ring in the top part of the map.
Is it?
Go ahead. Select your heroes.
Oh, okay.
A Clinks?
Clinks with Slada M, that is scary.
Okay, so last pick, Arme Clinks. Guys, we've got to talk about this hero because Fia was very adamant that we would never ever see this hero at TI.
This is like the highest DPS hero if he can actually sit there and just right click in the game.
Okay.
And you combine that with a Slada, he is going to shred them, but they do have answers, right, with the D-Crab.
So how does the Clinks play Lacoste? It's been so long since he's been seen in a competitive game, so long since he's ever entered the stage.
We see it from time to time. I think this hero definitely has a place in meta with a specific setup because you have a good amount of saves. We talked about the BKB piercing tool, so that's going to be a good way of maybe protecting Ame. And this hero gets super tanky. Once you get to that level 5, 2 charges,
5 seconds remaining.
The creeps makes you super tanky. Plus also the scaling. You did mention the Slardar plus his DPS could be very, very good. Plus Sanking, we talked about him not being the strong laner, playing into Clinks and Warlock. It's a very difficult lane for him.
Yeah, I think the Warlock is what really makes it work because Clinks' laning stage is pretty rough. Like
you want to heal, basically.
Yeah, you just want to heal and farm and get to the...
I
gotta agree with the old man Fear. I don't think Clinks is a very good hero. Like you can get bursted. Like you can die. Earthshaker, Sand King, like Snapfire ulti, even a Pugna can solo kill you, depending on the time of the game.
Yeah, you're really not instilling me with faith here, Jenkins. The other question I have for the side of Tundra in their lineup is seeing a Shaker and a Sand King. Is it a little too greedy? We're looking for 2 heroes that if they have kind of rough lanes, they both want to take stacks. Where does the priority go there, and how are you going to play around that?
I mean, they do have strong supports to kind of balance that out, right? They just need to make sure that they can survive the early phases. They don't get run over because they do have slower heroes in the early game with the Shaker and Sanking having to farm stacks in jungle. But I do feel like this game, I'm going to have to agree with Andrew here where Tundra is they're going to have the easier to execute route this time, and I think we were probably going to see a game 3.
Lacoste, I feel like you have nothing more to say other than I concur.
Yeah, it's a lot of easy to execute team fights for them. The 1-2 combo with either Earthshaker going in, Snapfire with the ulti, or Sanking jumping in. So they always have some kill threat on the map,
You
which
really
is very
should
easy
prepare
for them to
for
execute.
battle.
I think Extreme Gaming, they like to really push the limits with the drafts that they do have.
100%.
But I think they're going to take them.
You gotta respect the draft.
Okay, you gotta respect it, right? You gotta respect it, especially if maybe at home you guys knew. Let's see though if Tundra's coach Moon knew that this Clinks was gonna be coming out.
I am indeed very curious about that. Moon Meander, coach of Tundra. I was wondering how you prep for a team like this. Extreme, they made their way. You, on the other hand, had to play quite a few more, so you don't have much data on these guys.
Yeah, we're just kind of guessing what they're going to play, I guess, and looks like their lineup's kind of impossible to guess.
Yeah, Clinks is not something that many people can predict. If there ever was a player to do it, it's probably Ame, but still, it seems like these 24th pick surprises are still alive and well.
Except with mice.
Yeah, but I saw him play a pop on Clinks,
possibilities for
and he
combat
lost,
were
so
much the
maybe
same.
things are looking good for us.
I like the sample size of a 1. And my last question is, this whole situation has not been ideal for you. Although it seems like more exciting maybe happened. I was wondering how you integrated Toby into the lineup so quickly, because making it here to main stage is quite a feat with a stand-in.
We had like
to
pick a stand-in. It was so last minute, then we decided to get Toby because Team Liquid.
More
ownage here. Good luck, Moon Meander, as we get into game number 2.
Thank you so much, Neil and Moon, and we are into the game already, underway. A lot going on here, Trent, some crazy stuff, and the Bone Man almost got brought down, but we did get a first blood, too.
We did indeed, as Moon was taking the interview, wondering how the game was going to go. His team grabbed a kill, so that is indeed a pretty good start.
And Ame goes down again, down bottom. He was already coming in a little bit low HP, and 33 combos together with a Sox to secure the finish.
Yeah, softens him up a little bit there on the initial play. They grab it. 3-3 still very low. So potential maybe if they can find something on him before he regen. But he's got 3 tangos and, well, it's a Warlock and a Clink. So they're going to be doing a whole lot of chilling in this lane, presumably, as Soxa has to throw the body on the line here to get that Sentry into camp just to block the 1-minute spawn.
Yeah, important stuff right there to make sure they can't equalize this lane equilibrium at all. And I mean, you know, we talked about it there. This is a hard team to figure out. Moon was saying that even when you think you have an idea of what they're going to draft, it doesn't end up working out fully. They've ended up picking this Clinks. He said he did see him in a pub, though.
Yes.
So that means somebody on his friends list was playing with Ame. An important thing to watch for is when you can see their picks out a little bit earlier, since that's somewhat been gone recently. It's made some crazy matches, and we'll see if this Clinks pick is another one that gets them where they need to be.
And most importantly, he lost.
Yes.
As Moon pointed out, so we'll see. I mean, this looks a little bit like last game in the sense that things started out very well for Tundra. In fact, for quite a long time. They were doing very well in the previous match. We'll see if they can perhaps get the finish. I think if we go back there, it's BZM, of course, melee hero versus Queen of Pain tends to have a pretty rough time.
My goodness.
You know, we're used to this. But if we go back that first game, I think if they had... May I continue, BZM, or you good?
Yeah, it's good.
I think if they get that Roche as Tundra, I think they win that game. Yeah. That first Roche, I think that it gets so much harder for XG. So if they can manage to avoid a disastrous moment like that in this game, Tundra should have a better chance.
This is scary stuff right now. Mabel to get that deny on XM, but BZM still very, very low, playing against the 2 points in Dagger Queen of Pain. And you can see that's going to the tune of 12 and 5 for XM.
And you can see he's not even trying to force this, right? Like XM's low there, he's got a blink. He's thinking of some stuff there, but there's an enchant totem, there's creep waves. Like, why not just secure the runes and guarantee that he's just gonna have to leave?
Yeah, they don't have to necessarily play as aggressively as they don't want to. Oh, XinQ, XXS, battling out in the lane that we have not seen a ton of, and they can't get in rune in range quickly enough to contest for that Lotus. And so a little bit of the disparity from last game, it is XG that instead is winning across all 3 of their lanes, and 2 of them in a pretty good fashion. That Clink's 13 and 6 right now versus the 10 and 3 for the Sand King. I do have a feeling Tundra are not going to stack 0 camps by like 15 minutes, though.
Certainly not. Yeah, they are definitely going to be getting the stacks on for the Sand King. It is a necessity when you're playing. It's nearby. It doesn't even have to stack it too much because you can just grab 2, farm it up, stack when you can. But for the off lane, you need those stacks if you want to propel into these important items that get your game going.
XXS.
In this case, a helm.
Right. Yeah.
I remember, the panel was like, I think they could use a helm hero. And, oh, they're going to pick Sand King. That's not a helm hero. Haha.
Yeah. Well, also Slardar, the other one that is going for it. So
yeah,
every hero, helm hero, as we've come to expect. I'll also mention, between all of the heroes that XG has, insane amounts of physical damage coming out later.
Yes.
Obviously there's Ame, but you also have a Slardar, and then even if the Hoodwink, if you start to get some more, you know, items up on XinQ, and that's definitely a player that loves to farm.
He's warming up here on the Bushwhacks, as you can see. This looks like a really annoying lane for a Slardar, I gotta say. You like to be a bully, and obviously he's doing very well, but Chrysalis also still at 21 CS, and you know, you're dealing with Decrep potentially, doesn't have a point in it yet, and also just the ability to shield and kind of turn that damage back on you, so he's not able to shut down his opponent as much as he'd like to, as we tend to think of Slardar as more of like this anti-carry, where like you're played into this lane to also slow down your opponent.
Have a short disconnect here, Soxa gets the pause going for himself, and I would imagine that pretty soon he's going to be making that move back into the jungle that we've come to expect from him, stacking up camps and making sure that they're off to a decent start. Likewise, you can see XinQ already heading back that way as he's very low on HP, and we'll just reach up a little bit as he goes.
He queued up like 8,000 observers, but now he's changed his mind here. Gonna go for a wand into some arcane boots, pretty standard stuff. Can they contest these stacks, though? Probably not this game, eh? For XG?
I mean, yeah, it seems a little bit... I feel like you can contest. I don't think you can take. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. You could definitely target him for sure. Like, you get an obs in there, you see when he's going for these stacks, you can definitely come in, throw out a Sonic Wave, and maybe grab a cheeky kill.
3 points up in Dagger as we get back into the game. ZinQ is going to stack that camp up and head back. Oh, come on. Look, they don't even know how to do it. They're like, this is not our meta. We're just all fighting instead.
Man, usually, you know, sometimes the 3 points dagger is a scary thing because it really hurts your rotations in a lot of games because you don't have earlier access to burst damage from the Scream of Pain. But versus a Shaker mid, this is hurting. Like, BZM is just constantly off the wave. He is a fisher for CS. It is not feeling great. He is the lowest of the cores in terms of last hits. And he doesn't really have an ability to jungle yet. So we're talking about these stacks for the same kick. We're going to need him for BZM.
Oh, and they glyph, they bring him low. The cookie to try and get away, but he is going to die to XM.
He knew he was dead.
Yeah.
I think the second he got hit by the Shadow Word, he just started going in knowing he was going down.
So they managed to find the kill on the Shaker right before the 6-minute mark too. So this could also be a clutch.
Xnova and Soxa though, they're battling right now. Xnova comes in. He does not try and body block, but all right. I thought he was going to try and stop that spawn from happening. I was too worried about potentially dying there versus Soxa, so he lets it go.
And XM is the one that is going to be benefiting from that, picking up a shield room now. So yeah, I'm not sure what you do at this point as the Shaker, because everything feels bad.
Yeah, this is not great. He looks more like that position 4 Shaker right now or something, but he does have a stack here, so he can start working on that a little bit. But yeah, it's not great. Sox is going to hold the wave. There's an obs in behind the tier 1 tower planted by ZinQ that's going to allow all these opportunities for ganks. It's a very scary place to try and play versus 3-point stagger and a potential Sonic Wave.
This type of bullying behavior is what you want to see if you're an XG fan. On the other side, for Tundra, take away their abilities to bully you back. 33's got to get off to a decent start with this helm and is trying to finish that one off and maybe try and push this Clinks out of the base. At the very least, Clinks can't eat your creep anymore.
I know, right? Like, this hero will be crazy if you could eat helm creeps.
Denied.
Unfortunately, not a thing since they've become creep heroes, and partially why we're seeing them everywhere.
So while the CS starts to stack up, it's really 2 that stand a little bit above right now in the Clinks and the Quap, with Sand King and Abba still having a good time.
Radiant's bottom tower
as we get to that 7-minute mark, did get the shrine for each.
Has that ever been cause for celebration?
And Toby trying to actually step forward and stop any extra passive pressure from the creeps heading his way. Oh man, dude.
Again, Xnova just walking in here trying to disrupt these stacks because they know, right?
Yeah.
Like, all the Shaker wants to do is get this big stack going so he can come in and dunk on this. And he's going to interrupt at least one of them. It was close. Hamels managed to get it still. But actually, the Ancients get messed up too. So neither camp stacks.
Really well played by Xnova and Toby. 2-3-3 underneath. The bushwhack is there, and Sonic Wave for the finish.
Alright, meanwhile, Ame's walking into a sentry here, and he just eats the creep.
And he's going to take some of them away. I mean, if Xnova dies here, it's not the end of the world. If XM does, that's very bad. And so they're going to back away. Giving a little bit of space for BZM in the mid lane.
He has nothing. There is no piggy bank, you know? You thought your parents left you an education fund, but they spent it all on your brother. He's got nothing left. Like, what is there here, you know? And 3-3 came over, took one of the creeps with his helm. Ame came and ate the other, you know? It's just, he's truly a zoomer. The previous generations are just taking it all.
BZM trying to find anything for himself here. Does have, at the very least, level 6.
Oh my
god. They're just making his life miserable.
They're bringing him the helm creeps. 3-3 is bringing him a creep wave. This is where we're at. He walked a creep wave to BZM in the jungle.
Toby, underneath his own ward, is trying to back away, and yeah, they did bring over a creep wave to make sure that they could get a little bit of extra farm towards BZM. Now, a kill here onto the Hoodwink with the Helm Creep helping might actually help be decent for him, but instead, I kind of wonder if he's going to end up...
Oh, Davey.
some mercy. Poor BZM. Will he be able to get out of there? Aphotic shield. XM still on the chase. He's bottling up and finally getting a little bit of help.
Again, though, this is constant. The pressure on the other side of the map, Ame always takes advantage. He's very good at this. It's a lot of pressure onto this tower.
But Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But once again, it is Ame at the top of the board at the 10-minute mark. He has all the space in the world down bottom. This is a consistent theme that we are getting from XG.
They are looking quite robust.
Well, surrounded now, XM playing in mid with Soxa nearby, and though they did not get the kill with the Golem, they are going to get the tower with it.
Yeah, that ward lasting the entire time as well. So much value, giving them this capability to take this. I gotta say, the tower lasted longer than I expected. Oh no, not again. Not his little piggy bank.
Jumps in, finds it, BZM might need to get denied.
What the fuck?
Soxa not able to take down his buddy, and in fact, could be in further trouble. XinQ doesn't get any bounces out though. And yeah, they're still...
I think he got a glancing shot, because that only did 17 damage. That attempted deny on the so I think the innate screwed him there.
Oh, the innate got him.
And I believe it is.
Oh, that's very frustrating. Or the, yeah.
Oh, steady.
Well, we said that we thought they could contest. We weren't sure if they could steal them. They're making an attempt at it right now. BZM
level 9.
Must I repeat
you don't want to share this XP though.
Yeah, that's true too.
Even to your allies, like, guys, can you guys leave? But he just has to go for it. He needs the protection.
A wise decision, and trying to get some more gold into BZM here.
Lyrical, he is 2,000 gold behind the next nearest core.
Yeah, it's been an impossibility. And this was a first pick XM here too, on the Queen of Pain. They weren't able to draft things to help move over and shut him down more. It was just a complete answer the whole way through.
Yeah, they're gonna have to find a different hero to lead the charge here. Now, he is going to try and rush into that Radiance as XM continues to exert this pressure mid lane. Tower here or gone or not, he's sticking around. He's decided this is the part of the map he wants to play to open up the room on the side lanes.
You know, it's interesting too, right? Because people often talk about Quap not being able to rotate effectively with 3 points of dagger, but instead he says, fine, you guys rotate to me and we'll take that tower and then make everything else feel bad for Tundra. Yeah, they're at 4K gold leave at 12 minutes.
Yeah, when it's such a specific hero that you can target with a dagger like the Shaker and just make his life so miserable, it is very, very worth it. And amping up that physical damage that you can see will be a concern throughout this game will be that Deso. So, Slardar, Deso on a Clinks, it's going to be a lot.
And it's Blade Mail for XM.
Dire's top tower is being attacked like nobody's business.
Toby back in base, thinking about where can I go? What's the play next
Dire's
for him? At the very least, BZM has another tower to play behind, so harder to dive and kill the Shaker, but not impossible, as XXS takes the top one. And queuing up a pipe. I don't think I've ever seen a build like this out of Slardar before, but it is awesome.
BZM's tilted. He just body blocked his own camp. I mean, he's having a hard time, dude. It's not good. Like walking through your own camp spot in this situation. Meanwhile, the enemy carry is picking up 3 bounty runes. That just shows what, like, they create this just wilderness zone that no one wants to go into except Ame. It's like a private resort just for him. The bottom lane every game.
Ame's area, that's what they'll call it. They need to find a kill on him though, because he's gonna start taking off like crazy, and instead they have to deal with this. XM runs in, and you have to keep Toby nearby, because otherwise BZM's just dead. They're gonna try and make something happen bottom now against the Clinks. Do they have enough for a kill? He summons, he's trying to stay alive, not enough.
That was kind of terrifying how long it took, but he does go down. Will there be revenge?
An attempt at one at the very least. Burrow strike to back away, and it looks like it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So, a nice play by Tundra, managing to take down Ame. Still 5K behind, but some signs of life.
Yeah, good position there from 3-3 to evade any sort of a bushwhack play there by using his Burrow strike when he did. And XinQ knew it too. Didn't have an option to get him.
the other side, you've got Chrysalis here, who's been relatively quiet, but working on a Radiance. And BZM finally has that Blink Dagger done.
At level 8.
Yeah.
That's the downside, right? Like,
you're not wrong.
Unfortunately, you just don't have a whole lot to offer at this point. Like, he's the same level as Soxa. There we go.
I mean, he's going to have to make back up that deficit by virtue of finding kills and finding good fights.
Oh, or another big set of stacks here. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, awkward moment here. 2 cores. It's like, okay.
Well, they're going to stack again, but yeah, I feel like injecting this into the BZM would be a really big win. 33, never mind. It would be a really big win for 33 too to get all this gold. You got your blink already.
Yeah, listen, one of us is having a game here, okay? Just let me take care of this.
Still just 2 stacked on the side of XG. I mean, the other thing to keep in mind, right, is that while we did see Clink stay alive for a while there, 33 was there, a lot of like his survivability came by casting spells, and there's a decent chance they could just stun lock him.
That's true. It can happen if we can catch back up here. It makes me think of the FE voice line, you know, I'm farming lane because I'm a winner. You know, that's XG right now. You know, stacks, you know, I don't care stacks, right? They're just camping all 3 lanes, farming up like crazy. So all of their last hits are mega valued.
Going in now. Chrysalis forced to pop ulti, and the TPs come in. Are they going to go for more? Soxa nearby, thinking about it, hunting to the side. Toby decrypts himself. That is the Radiance, assembled by Chrysalis.
Will he be the Avenger? That is the question with said Radiance.
Yeah.
Radiant structures
tough one.
Are fortified.
Force a lot of rotation.
Mid lane, Arcane, amplify damage rune.
Yeah, good blink away there by BZM before things went south. And maybe 33, if you waited a second.
XXS confused as to what hero he's playing, picks up the pipe. So his Helm Pipe Slarda ready to take over this game. And it's great itemization in this match. It's really, he is just...
First time this tournament, it makes sense. It's the perfect item. The question is, if you start losing out at this point, if you lose a fight or 2 because of some chaos happening, how well is this hero going to be scaling? I mean, you've still got the Helm.
They're very good at forcing towers right now, but if they were like, let's say, trying to hunt for a 5v5 fight, they don't really have very good tools for it right now, right?
No.
It would be like bushwhack or just a golem drop, whereas we are like saying,
oh, Kiss is done. XM is out of there. That is exactly what they need. Trying to find Xnova, who is pretty quick in the river. But with Blink Dagger back up in 8, Burrow Strikes, trying to stay on target, Bushwhack stops it. BZM Fissure, they miss off to the side. Oh, he's getting out! 33, he doesn't have anything for him.
I don't mean to be
and so they do manage to TP out with Xnova, but the kill on XM.
Very, very important. And I mean, it comes back to what we were just literally just talking about as it happened. They have great ways to start fights as Tundra. Right, we have the blink on the Sand King, we have the blink on the Shaker. We're going to have these cookie plays, and then you can defend your towers with your kisses. It is risky to push into it, which is what they're trying to do with the pipe, but immediately losing your Queen of Pain like that kind of makes you look at your pipe and be like, oh, well, that wasn't great.
Ame runs into BZM, spots him, and oh, that is not feeling good for Tundra.
Yeah, you heard this brought up on the panel, but Clinks, although we don't see him very often, it is one of the heroes that just has the most insane amount of burst damage if he's allowed to just swing. And when you think about how XG has played this whole tournament, the best thing that they do is enable Ame. So giving him the full-on glass cannon of Clinks seems like a pretty solid strategy from them.
This gold lead staying steady, though. That's something that has also been a constant at this tournament, that even when teams are behind, they have found ways to keep farming, to stay relevant in the game, and to extend the duration. And, well, now, these types of kills start to hurt a whole heck of a lot. Ame goes down again.
A rare mistake there from Ame, pushing out a little bit too much, maybe incorrect read as to where they are moving on the map. He tends to play just like so defensively.
I mean, Ame is 3 of their deaths in this game.
That's 75% Lyrical.
I thought it's half.
Yes, you're right. I was looking at the wrong column. Yeah. I thought I really nailed my math for a second there.
That's, I mean, when you think
it's tough out here, you know.
I hear ya. When I think back to the beginning of this tournament, and you know, the way that Ame had started it, it really feels like so many of the games of XG have been in response to those early days and how well he did, where people like are explicitly going out and saying, "I'm here just to kill Ame."
That has only grown now. Yes, that's right. after the Road the International. All right, some obs down here spotting some of this movement by Tundra. They scan, saying, hey, I think they're going to do a 20-minute Tormentor, guys. Just this feeling I have.
Dyer's middle tower
Creep is in.
under attack.
XXS, no blink dagger.
Ame's coming.
No, he did have it. He got it back over time. Now Sonic Wave. Chrysalis, low, but not dead yet. He's broken. Forced to pop the ultimate. And now from Soxa, do they have enough damage? Ame spots it immediately. Blows up.
Oh. 阿面ตี歪一點要拿個ပြေ唔လို့ရအောင်，ပြေ都唔ရအောင်，都講我得嘛嘅，拉馬站嘛講話要，What the fuck？ 點位？
Oh, that's exactly how they need these fights to go for Tundra, right? Like, that ulti looked very dangerous for Chrysalis. He was forced to pop it because of the break. He was a little bit nervous there, so he just goes for it. They completely stop hitting him. He gets almost no heals off the ulti. And then you're worried about the re-goose from XG. But just that little bit of survival on Soxa to get the cookie stun on Ame gives them that kill. And then a delayed fight, the burn of the Radiance going the entire time, and BZM finally getting his revenge after that mid lane.
So we take a look at this, the breakdown of the view. I mean, again, at the beginning, you see Tundra not as much HP, not as tanky. They don't have the pipe.
They kite the ABBA ulti, and then this play.
How did he not die? The Decrep coming in saved his life before he got burned.
And there, it looked pretty dangerous with that ulti. You see this chase down sliders coming in, but the Fisher block even to help protect 3-3. I mean, that's beautiful stuff right there.
BB နဲ့ Purification အားပေးမယ်တဲ့33လည်းမကင်နိုင်တော့ဘူးဝင်လာတပတ်ကစတာအရန်ဝက်ရှာပါကစတာမဟုတ်ဘူး
It's gonna help him
Purification ကတော့
fully finish
ကျမ်းပါလေ
now for Chrysalis as he takes
the
the top
Hero ကလည်းရန်ဟိုဖြစ်ထားလို့မရဘူးနော်ဒီကောင်လေးလည်းသူ့ဟာ
Now eyes will start to move to the Roach Pit. Likely the next goal you're hoping for on these teams. Particularly XG, of course.
Yes.
They can just do it instantly. If they ever get the moment.
That's the thing that I think is going to be tough for Tundra is keeping an eye on that Roche pit while making sure that you know, Ame doesn't have a few seconds just to get away and start taking it. He's working on a BKB, 2 components of it. He shows over there to the side and immediately look at all of Tundra running towards Ame.
I mean, he has his own obs, right? He feels a little bit safe here. Now there's a scan. They know they're coming through.
They see him. He's in trouble. Ame again. Dead.
Yeah, but he gets that last hit. So, 50 gold going back his way. I mean, someone on the Radiant team was like, bro, they're coming. They scan next to him. It turns red, and he's like, well, I'm still just dead, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Wow. It would appear
he's trying to make a little bit more space here in this game, and he's getting punished for it.
Is under an extraordinary
I mean, again, when you've got the Slardar that goes first 2 items, helm, pipe, it sort of puts a target on everybody else's back in a way.
BZM
Still, taking a while to take down Soxa, but they do eventually get the Snapfire.
But there's that situation where they don't have Ame up, so they can't just move in towards the Roche Pit or something, even though they get a kill kind of nearby. They got to just wait for him. Come back in this game, and look over towards BZM. He's thinking about finishing up a Yashikaya here, just for some general, you know, mobility, gameplay, spellcasting, all those nice things for a Shaker, but he's not going to have a BKB anytime soon.
No.
I mean, he's got problems, right? You think about a BKB with Shaker, you think, oh, nice, like good mobility in the team fights, lets you get off your spells, but then you look at this, you're like, oh, there's a Slardar. There's the damage from the Clinks. You know, there's Warlock ulti. There's a lot of issues with BKB.
Yeah, there's massive physical damage in this game coming from the side of XG. And I will also say, sort of like, when you've got so much burst on XG and you've got like the ABBA on the other side, Chrysalis could be that like sort of key central bit to this fight that can make things work. Because I think that they were hoping to blow up the ABBA in the duration of a sharpshooter. Yeah. And it hasn't really happened. He's been able to get his ultis off twice when he's broken.
I have no reason.
And the other issue is that your starter just needs like every item in the game. Because he went for this Helm Pipe, he still needs Blink. He still needs BKB, and they desperately need a Nullifier.
He doesn't have Blink now, but yeah.
Yes, yeah, he does, but I just mean like all of these items combined.
Right. Afterwards, it takes longer to come online as ZinQ dies to 33. A lot of pickoff.
And you don't have full confidence in these engagements until you have a Nullifier on your team.
Yeah.
Right, because they're building Ghost Scepters and they have a Pugna.
Chrysalis, Ame ships in the night, passing by, BKB done. And that should stop. I mean, he could still get chain stunned. Like, that's the problem.
Yep.
Gonna go for the Nullifier next, as Roche heads up to the north. Not as much vision around that area for a potential fight.
Well, it's a very small lead right now. It's mostly just the idea of like Roche is what it comes down to, is they kill a creep down bottom while scanning the Roche pit.
They're ganking creeps. They're ganking Helm creeps.
That is but the reality we live in, Lyrical.
That's right.
That's where we're at right now.
Sand King does have Aghanim Scepter.
That's a lot of damage.
And Tier 1 tower still alive for XG. Also Aghanim Scepter done on Quap a little while ago.
A haste rune here. They're going to give it to Chrysalis, and he's running in.
They want to take down this tower before a Roche fight comes in, so it's harder to reinforce.
3-3. He's winding up. He's thinking of it just in case.
Tower has fallen.
A nice play right there.
Very pleased with themselves.
But now you know what's happening. And 33, does he catch sight of anybody? They're ready to jump at a moment's notice. XM is there.
Want this.
He's thinking about it. He's going in. 33. Blink. How much they have? The crush interrupts. But there's the goal down to an XM. He gets out. Broken. Brought down low. 33 in trouble now. Great play by XXS to interrupt the jump. As XG planned that out perfectly and dodged from the damage.
Wait, there's no BKB here.
Never mind, they're in trouble now, and now XXS is the one running into kisses. Do they have enough damage to blow him up? It's from low, the control. He actually gets out.
They didn't dunk. BZM saved it.
They did decide to go in, and now XM, fatal bound together. They're taking so much damage on this. Starting to die. Chrysalis. Where to go? Another 4 down.
Once again, it's just the first Roche. It's just like game one. If they were able to secure it, they have a nice path, and you can see the vision.
TUNDRA မဆိုဒီကောင်လေးအပေါ်ပြန်တက်လာနိုင်တယ်ရေးချင်းရှိ
It all starts with this attempted epicenter under the tier 2 tower. And then back to here too when they try and get this going. So this is no BKB slider. It's already been used. The kisses are coming down. BZM blinks in right here, but he doesn't want to echo. He doesn't think it's going to be enough. And instead, now they get no opportunity for it. And then you just get XXS coming back in here with a pow! Easy crush.
And as soon as those, fatal bonds are out, it just shuts down any chance of a reinitiation from BZM at that point too. There's just nothing else that you can do right there.
Yeah, and now that's going to be Ame here. Has his BKB, has an Aegis, and is 500 gold away from a Nullifier.
Well, we have one big fight that goes the way of Tundra, another now going the way of XG. Still not a meaningful separation between these two squads that's like an item difference. You're sitting 3,000 gold on Ame. They're basically equal. So I feel like there's got to be some more type of a battle coming from Tundra. They're probably going to wait for their next timing too, though.
Yeah, we're going to get back to dodging here. Not the best lineup necessarily on Tundra for just pulling waves and playing super safe. You do have the full bore on the snap, which is nice. So blasting away and cooking. Pretty solid hero with your shard too to clear the waves. Shaker, probably one of the best heroes in the entire game at this with the shard and the fishers. You can keep things down. But, we have Jump. We have this spooky, scary skeleton guy. So it's not a super simple proposition to be pushing these out as Tundra.
A bunch of the whispers of the dread coming out. Everybody looking for spell amp and ways to burst. And it feels like those spells to save are going to be at a premium in this one.
Yeah, well, at least it doesn't reduce your nighttime vision, so
true.
They're safe for now.
30-minute mark. Sansa not going to get caught by success bricks right on top of where he was.
Good way.
And likely going to be looking for another chance at the Tormentor here in a moment. Another amp damage for XG. Toby making the big run in, and well, he gets punished for that one.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's a bold move.
Yeah,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Boots of travel finish for BZM, so wants to be able to capitalize on any opportunity they can find on these side lanes as Ame.
Nullifier out. No chance. Yeah, that is an interesting one too. Just saw that on Hoodlink finished off the Mage Slayer. So pretty annoying to deal with for Sand King.
Sand King, even just like everyone,
yeah.
Really, it's truly everyone. So we're going to be watching those bounces on the Acorn. Not many heroes, of course, that can hit multiple with the Mage Slayer, but Hoodlink is one of them, so you get this debuff on multiple people. Feels great, but it does only last for 3 seconds now. It's not as crazy as it used to be.
Ame under a ward. The rest of the team coming in behind. He is going to show for a moment and then actually take down that tower. This is Clinks. This is the problem.
In a stunning
Look at how quickly that fell.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
It is very, very fearful.
Gonna need to make use of the mass magic damage that you have on the side of Tundra and hope that's enough to burst him. Obviously, they're going to need to do it twice right now with the Aegis. 1 minute and 30 left on that one. As XG head up to the north and get themselves ready for a Tormentor.
What? Where?
Yeah.
Immediately gone. Here's the Shark goes to X-Nova.
Radiant's
and Tundra
bottom
just
tower
continue
is
to dodge as
attack.
much as they can right now.
Has that ever been cause for celebration?
I mean, attempted nullifier for 3-3 could
Radiant's
be something.
bottom
The
tower
Bloodthorn for
under
Chrysalis
attack.
is probably their best chance to at least get a full chain stun kill and just kill as fast as possible.
Man, it really is something else. Ame, like, he has died the most in this game and is the top net worth on clicks. Like, he's died more than the person that's died the most at the tournament so far in this game. He's still just making it happen. Daedalus, close to being completed.
Fortune.
A 9,000 gold lead as XG ready to battle.
Yeah, look at this. They scan the high ground. They just want to run in, take over this area.
Counterplay coming from Tundra sometime soon. They're almost at a nullifier, 433. Meanwhile, Bloodthorn is going to be the call for Abba. Still a little ways away from that one being done.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But Chrysalis,
In a blow to the Dire, their
not sure if they
bottom tower
recognize
has
where
fallen.
he's over here or not, but it's going to blink out. And a tier 2 tower taken now bottom as well. 33 under the ward.
Dire's middle tower is under
And I guess
attack.
they can just feel safe now,
Radiant's top
spreading
tower
out,
is under attack.
farming away because they see that 33 is there. They know that there's no chance that he's setting up to kill anybody else. He's just trying to finish off his item.
I feel like
exactly. They're just going to wait it out. It would be nice if Tundra was able to get some better vision out with a gem, but it's just so risky. Ideally, you manage to kill this Warlock, you know, maybe steal it from X-Nova. That'd be a great target for them to grab on these pickoffs, but he's obviously playing very far back and quite safe.
All right, a couple of items done. And the team grouping together down on the bottom side of the map, around the Bloodthorn, around the Nullifier, and an opportunity here to find it. Zing Q, caught. Out a bit too far and brought down.
Yeah, Chrysalis has been very cautious to ensure that he's always bringing dust. He's got another one flying out right away. Does not want to let these kills go by.
Bottom tower is
you can see, though they're down 9K, Tundra's still very capable of pushing. It's not quite as quick as the Clinks.
Radiant's bottom tower.
They get it done.
Yeah. As we get an Aghanim's Scepter picked up for XXS. I was a little surprised by this. I thought maybe stacking nullifiers might be the way to go here.
Tower is under
but
attack.
Instead, obviously it's a very, very good item on Slider. It just helps you out so much whenever you're in your puddles or trail or a river. Just gives you so many bonuses. It is pretty ridiculous. Just gonna try and ensure that he doesn't get chain stunned down. He's got opportunities to go for his hits, get off his items as they on the crystals here with the BKB from Ame. He's leading the way. He's angry. Hasn't had the funnest game.
And they're hunting down bottom. Okay, no, but Ame's backing out.
Good choice.
Yeah, realizing that that would go south very quickly.
Unfortunately, it's hard to go on this hunt without a gem. You know?
True.
Very scary. You don't want to be walking through these wards and potentially through the clinks, not knowing where he's at.
12 to 14. And while the smoke does not connect onto anybody for Tundra, they do get another chance to push out their waves. XXS is showing it mid. Ame still has no BKB for another 40 seconds. If something were to pop off.
So if the roads were to spawn instantly in 7 seconds, it would be extremely good for Tundra.
I don't even know about that necessarily.
Soxa is getting really aggressive. He goes, that's a greedy ward, my man. He will take down the sentry, but obviously he tries to get the deny. Wait, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did get it. Nice Lancet Blade. It is not an instant Roche. It is a max Roche by the looks of that clock, I would say.
Wow. Okay.
It is like 3 full minutes, man.
All right, we're chilling here. Now, the flip side of that, too, is that I feel like there's still a potential that you could get into a big fight. It does also mean that Roche is probably going to be moving down bottom by the time something else is happening. No TA in this game, so neither team is fully aware of what time it's going to respawn at.
That's true.
But the wave shove is going to happen. And even though it's that 7K gold lead, the win probability is still very even between these two squads.
I feel like the gem advantage is just so good in this situation.
Yeah.
Like just moving across the map right now, they put it on XM so we can just move across there as, yeah, Dota Plus refusing to give up on Tundra today.
Favored him last time too. Neutrals out.
It would appear Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That's actually kind of sick against Clinks.
Yes, it can turn south very, very quickly.
Interesting. He does have like decent armor on Clinks.
Oh, the Radiant scan. Oh, look at this. Okay, so 3-3 has the Helm creep in the Roche pit, which registers as a hero. So then XXS has to send his creep in, which means now if they scan the pit, you know.
Yeah, they're going to be aware. Okay, good to know.
Keep in mind, you know how they changed the vision around Roche? Yeah. Right now, XXS doesn't actually see 3-3's creep. So he's actually still in one of those spots. So he's got a very sneaky creep placement where that creep can actually see inside the Roche pit, but when you're inside the Roche pit, you don't see that creep.
Could be very important how this plays out.
Bottom tower is under attack.
XM.
The rune spot.
Oh, that is. Oh, geez.
All right, there's a call from Xnova. He wants to wrap around.
Again, they don't know yet. Roche not up. It's going to be up very shortly. That is a Lotus now done again for XXS this game.
Yeah, no more Helm shenanigans. He's fully sold it?
Oh, shit.
I guess.
I think so.
I thought maybe just backpacking it, but no. He's just done. He wants his Lotus. He wants to play. He's done microwing. Just wants to work on his own hero, you know?
Now, when I think of XXS, I think of like Mars, Magnus. He's not a micro guy.
Here comes the Croaker.
So second row shove, wrapping behind.
They see the creep moving. They know someone was here. All right, now there's really good heroes to get first and really, really bad ones like ABBA, right? Unless they can hold a 0, can they do it?
Can they blow up in time? Looking forward, he's broken, but he gets the ulti off. And that stops it.
That's a free reset, but that's 65 seconds of no ulti. So that does take away one of the good conditions of an engagement for Tundra, which is they go on ABBA first.
And it basically costs them nothing.
Yeah.
That's the other issue.
I mean, pipe, I guess, you know?
That's true.
Croaker coming in. Congregating, Tendril of the Deeping even.
And they're just gonna start taking it. 33 sees this though, his creep is gone. Nova Glimmer walks away, BZM throws out the fissure.
Zincu's just coming up. Hello?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ended up hitting him for a moment. XM also jumps, but not able to connect as 33 did back
there's only
away.
10 seconds here. Roche is gonna migrate.
Yeah, and now he's gonna get fissure blocked.
Oh,
I'm
he
not sure
doesn't
what's
like
gonna happen.
that.
XM is right there to the side. 33 gets caught. From XM. He's still alive. Able to get it off the Lotus. Low, but dead afterwards. XXS puts the kibosh on that. And Chrysalis, now in more of a world of hurt, is gonna start to fall. Ethereal form for a bit longer. But in the end, it is going to be a dead ABBA. And hunting down Toby, hides off to the side. Ethereal form, no way to break it.
Do you know what's crazy is that he didn't have ulti as that sharpshooter was coming in. His ally died and gave him ulti from his fence.
Oh my god! Comes in, shuts down the captain. 33 to fall, and XG ready to run away with this game number 2.
Just, I mean, everything going their way. Like, what more is it, you know? They jump in there, at first you think like, oh, there's a heal, you know? Maybe they can turn it with a shaker, but they just never find these opportunities. Just instant zero chance of contest here. And yeah, that's where it starts, right? Like, on to BZM. What is the heal here? Is someone passing a Lotus or something?
Yeah, it must have been. Regardless, you could see also the just swing that came in as soon as 33 burrow striked, and then the reaction of the beacon shut that stuff down completely. And I mean, now that you lose this fight like this, you get the Aegis ready to start going high ground. I mean, there's got to be some answers to it, but you don't have buyback. You don't want a buyback.
Their spirit is broken like their base. I mean, that wasn't even a fight. It was just simply a massacre. The comms are quiet right now, you know?
Dire's structures
and another tier 3 tower going to be hit.
They're TPing in with BZM. They're going to try something.
Does he have the range? The creeps are starting to walk forward, but Ame just passes away down the jump. Finds Chrysalis, BZM waiting for his moment, waiting. There's a fissure block. XXS is stuck.
He wants Ame, but he's just not coming in.
And the cookie, but there's the BKB reaction. Ame's just running a chance. Sonic Wave 33 can't chase now. No Blink Dagger available. XM, he's fine too, gets the blink out, and after just destroying that base, are gonna freely walk away. Full 2 sets of racks.
And they've still got it all, right? They're just walking out with this Aegis and only a single lane now to try and keep alive.
မနိုင်တော့ပါဘူးဗျာတန်တရားလေဂိမ်းကတော့ဆော့ရမှာပဲရှေးကြာရွယ်
If there were any questions about if this team was for real going into the main event, they have been answered at this point. They have looked so good. And now an Aghanim Scepter done for the Clinks. They're doing it with the weird heroes. You love it.
It's so much damage, man. The Burning Army comes out. It already is a lot of damage, but now this is that safe damage, the way he's been playing, right? He can just chuck this out.
Does also get increased hits to kill the skeleton archers when you pick up that Aghanim Scepter. So big range, drop it down, say come and fight us in this, which is even harder to do now because they're going to be breaking blink daggers of Sand King and Earthshaker.
Yeah, who've already struggled, of course, to try and find these plays in. But you know, he doesn't have buyback.
That's true.
So kill him twice, you won't have to kill him a 3rd time. At least there's that.
Tundra, how many more tricks they have up their sleeves? Ame is there, channels ton of damage onto the ABBA, and then he's forced to back away. I'm not sure what the right answer is at this point for them. They're down so much gold. And it feels like the fights have just not gone their way at all. And look at this. XM just blinks right in the middle of everybody here. They find Toby, and he is going to end up dying for his troubles.
And look at this. XM scouts the amplified damage room, too.
And there, Soxa dying. Woo, buddy.
All right, I've now seen no world staff actually save someone.
Almost worked last game there. Oh, he went all in. Auto refresher on Shaker. This is going to be a reveal. They jump in. Burrow strike. Do they have enough control? Wanting to kill Ame. He's not dead. He's not going down. Ame Klink survives through it. He held on to his BKB the entire time. And now BZM is going to be the one that's caught instead. Still everybody from Tundra alive. Unfortunately, their base not so lucky.
No, that's mega critics. Can you even
You've got to do
something. You've got to find a way to punish. But the damage is just not there. BZM so low. XXS jumps forward. There's the epicenter. It's hitting on to nobody. They do burst strike though, and now it starts to clip away slightly. But the damage is too much. Ame, he stands tall despite the early death, taking out hero after hero. Another burrow strike used. But look at the clicks. The skeleton man is doing way too much damage as they find a triple kill. Looking for 4. Can they get it? Ame instead gets the nullifier out. There's another combination. Damage maybe? No! They're not going to kill him. Ame
dude,
They take down 2 buyback. GG is called. XG, they came to play.
Hello, ကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ် see you ပါအောက်ပါပြီဗျာညာကြမှာညာပွဲကြမှာပြမယ်နော် hero တွေနဲ့ party vision တော့မပြတော့ဘူးတက်လာခဲ့ပါမယ်ခဏနေ